Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
WTF Nation Radio
is in the house.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Damn. Welcome to WTF Nation Radio's Sergeant's Time. In association with me is my other host, Spanky.
Hey, y'all.
Man, I am just doing startup and prep and all this. And all you guys in the chats, what is going on? Did I miss something? Do we have some shit going on or something like that? Or what?
I don't know. What's wrong with you, Joseph?
I know, and everyone's like going nuts. Everyone's getting upset. Everyone's getting, getting butthurt about, damn. I was like, fuck. So much to the point where you're probably, yeah, someone's gonna get upset with me and like probably kick me off of Facebook Live or something like that because of some complaint they got going on. How you been, Spanky?
I've been okay. I had a shit week, but I'm here. I'm here.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, you have. Well, thanks, Chris. But I just don't understand what's going on. This week's been hostile. I'm dealing with some hostility today.
It's probably because it's been cold out. I think it's what it is. I remember you talking about you're not going on the field or not doing some shit, and then you're like, we were all posting temperatures and shit, and it was like, what was it like? What you said it was like 27 where you're at or something like that? Like that one morning, yes. We had a freeze warning. We don't get those here. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I had to leave the house even. I really didn't like it.
Yeah, it's been cold. I took the little man running. Make him run. Make him do PT with me. And he did not know the concept of hands in pockets just yet. And I'm trying to like, dude, just put your hands in your pockets. And he's blowing on his hands. He's blowing on his hands, clasped and stuff like that, and put them underneath the shirt. And he's like, it's cool. And I'm like, yeah, well, put your hands in your pockets and then whatever. But
yes, he's allowed to.
Yeah, he's allowed to.
He's in the Army.
Yeah, exactly. He's in the Army. I don't care.
I'm allowed to stick my hands down my pants to warm them up, and not in my fucking pockets.
Let's do that in front of a formation. When that's somebody. Man, well, everybody, welcome to Sergeant's Time. Today we have a guest. We have Tim Klund, TK. He's been a guest several times, and he just likes to come back and shoot the shit. I haven't talked to Tim in a long time, so I'm looking forward to him coming on at 2100 Eastern Standard Time to shoot the shit about whatever. But damn, yeah, there's just been like lately some leader shit going on. Not leadership, leader shit. Yes, we're up on YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, Facebooks, and all that stuff. You can all get in here and check it out. Now, for real, I don't know, it just seems like, okay, look, you were talking about hostility. I was dealing with some hostility with just talking about changing the names of installations. And man, I had white supremacists coming at. I had the supremacists coming at me, and I was like, "What the hell is going on with you guys?" All I did was just talking about changing a name for Fort Benning to Alwyn Cash, because Alwyn Cash, the bill has passed for him to be awarded the Medal of Honor.
Right.
So why not? If everyone's going off, and I'm just saying, I'm not going to I'm not gonna respond to the hate, but I don't understand what the hostility is. Why would you not want to honor Alwyn Cash? Fort Alwyn Cash. As a matter of fact, just for that, just to piss off the haters, I'm gonna post a sign that I posted all over Twitter. There you go. Welcome to Fort Alwyn Cash, home of the General Sherman Maneuver Center of Excellence. Just to say that. That got everybody triggered. I mean, I was literally getting told, oh, you must tell stupid jokes. I was just talking about stuff, historical individuals. I was attacked, and I was like, wow. And if you guys know me in real life, and Chris will tell you, I feed off of that shit. If I know something's going to really upset you, I will feed off of that so fucking bad. So I ended up trolling the entire Twitter sphere with signs of changing installations from Confederate generals to different names like that. And everyone's freaking out. I was like, oh, well, what about this and what about that? Like, yeah, what about that? What I'll lay you out like Snoop Dogg. We don't, or like Mike, that one dude in the fight. I don't understand what everyone's making a big deal about this shit. It's just if it's named for individual who was a hero, then it's a hero. Even worse, I triggered everybody when I said, you know what? This is what I think about Fort Hood. They should name it to Fort Benavidez. Man, you thought I was... people were clutching pearls and going nuts.
Where's Benning's Medal of Honor?
Right.
Where's Hood's Medal of Honor?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, they got some Medal of Honor winners, like,
a couple of them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, whoa, Chris, why I've seen a certain E7 smoke in full shoot, respected that man since day one. Yeah,
I feel like there's a story behind that.
There has been stories. Yes, there's a story. Yours truly used to smoke. You're not supposed to be smoking while you're wearing a parachute. As a matter of fact, I smoked so much that I would smoke in shoot, I would smoke in rigging up, I'd smoke in jump mastering, and I even would smoke when I got out of the aircraft. As soon as I hit the cap, I was even steering towards the turning point with a cigarette in my mouth. That's how. Oh, I'm sorry. Chris said no stories. Oh, okay, shit, my bad. Oh, I revealed something like that. I didn't reveal too much.
Boss of me? No, he's not.
No. It's just, well, you were the one that asked me. Yeah. So you asked me about that. But yeah, I used to smoke, and some of the places where you didn't think a cigarette would light up, I used to light up. One time, I think we got pulled over by the MPs because I was sitting there smoking in a vehicle. The good old days. At any rate, but
my only one smoking story is I was at Walter Reed, and I had surgery, and I was finally able to get up, and I had I guess it was a morphine drip or whatever, and they have them locked up on this little thing. I don't know, people steal them or something. I don't fucking know.
Go figure.
So I drug they were trying to tell me I couldn't go outside to smoke a cigarette. I'm finally well enough to go outside and smoke a cigarette. And I kindly told the nurse to go fuck herself because I'm a patient, not a prisoner, and I'm going to do what I want. So I drug that whole contraption with me out the front door, and I'm in a hospital gown, sitting on 25 or so feet away from the front entrance to Walter Reed's hospital, smoking a cigarette. And it wasn't an MP because it wasn't Army, but whatever the equivalent MP is, whatever service this guy was. Come up and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "What does it look like I'm doing? I'm smoking a cigarette." He's like, "You're not allowed out here." And I'm like, "Are you going to arrest me?" And he's like,
"Right.
Well, no."
It might be detained.
What are you going to do? Call my mom? And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Well, I'm telling you, just like I told him, I'm not a fucking prisoner." He's like, "Well, you can't have that controlled substance out here." And I'm like, "Do you think I'm going to rip it out of my arm and start sharing it with someone?" I'm like, "If y'all
right,
off and let me smoke this
right,
cigarette."
exactly. No, I used to, every Chris was there to observe the specific event that I had with my parachute malfunction, and everyone was laughing because the first thing I did when I was on the ground all laid out was light up a cigarette. He even smokes when he's dead. So it was fun. Just good times. He just brought that up, yeah, because you're not supposed to be smoking when you're wearing a chute, but yeah, it was kind of like one of those things. Hey, are you really not supposed to be doing that?
If I die, I die.
Yeah, if he dies, he dies. Exactly. So, anyways, I had white supremacists going after me. I mean, straight they were the straight white. They were throwing the crosses at me. They were because I named installations, and I was talking about changing Fort Benning to Fort Alwyn Cache, and then Fort Hood to Fort Benavidez. And everyone is, I'm noticing something real quick on the, and these are military guys, you can totally tell, but they're defending their, they're trying to, my heritage, they're trying to defend the heritage. My dearest Jessica, I on the radio was changing names of installations. I felt hurt that he would even name General Sherman Center of Excellence for what he did to Atlanta. Now, here's the thing. A lot of these individuals were bringing up, for any name that you would bring up, they would trying to trash the individuals that I changed. So as soon as I said General Sherman or General Sherman Center of Excellence or Sherman for Fort Bragg or Gavin for Fort Bragg or whatever, immediately everyone started trying to shoot holes in the individuals that I was saying that the names that should be replaced, because everybody knows that Braxton Bragg and John Bell Hood and then Fort Benning were all Confederate soldiers. We're all whatever. So their defense was immediately when it came to Sherman was,
it shouldn't be Sherman because, you know, then he slaughtered Indians. The next thing you know, they really started to go off on this crazy ass tangent that every person that we were talking about, because Congress right now, you know, they're trying to pass a bill. The president has said he will veto a bill that would have the Army change the names of installations named after Confederate traitors. So the way I see it, it's just like, well, they're not. I mean, think about it. Why would you not be? I mean, think about it. Medal of Honor winners, and you want to make. This is the thing that I don't understand about. I know it's a starting time about, you know, we're not supposed to be talking about big league stuff, but this is like a big win. This would be like a big league win. This would be huge. You know what I mean?
It would be one thing they'll remember him for,
right.
Other than
you change the names. Yeah,
his hair and fake tan.
Again, I was getting attacked, and again, and like I told you, Spanky. I mean, you know how I am. Once you start poking at me, I'm like, oh, would you like to? You know, I will meme.
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more? So I was throwing memes. I was throwing memes at these individuals of burning, like General Sherman burning. And then, I was showing somebody threw me a Confederate flag at me, and I had a picture of General Sherman with the Infinity Glove dissolving the Confederate flag. Man, everybody was, you know, freak. These were like straight bona fide, like they had straight up codes and, you know, white supremacy stuff, and some of the friends that I, you know, on Twitter were like, dude, you got the white supremacists chasing you, got the supremacists coming at you, and I'm like, yeah, well, you know, tough shit. I mean, it's just, and some of them weren't even from here. That's what tripped me out the most. Is some of them weren't here. Some of them were in the U.S. military, but some of them were not. They were obviously tag chasers, wanting to jump on the thing where, oh look, you know. But it's kind of funny, and I will say this. I'll make one political point right now for everyone who likes to talk about how divisive politics are and all that. For individuals that said that it was the Democrats that were segregationists and trying to secede from the Union, yeah, anyways, I'm just going to say that. But, yeah, I'm serious. Just leave them shits up. Fort Bragg to Fort Trump, so let's try it changes to what? Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what Poland said. Poland said you'll be able to change it to Fort Trump. You will have a Fort Trump here if you move forces to there. So that's why the next thing you know, that's where you have a bunch of soldiers going to Fort Trump in Poland.
Well, see, he can have one over in Poland. He can sign the freaking bill. You know, well, the national defense, you know, money thing that goes through every year.
The NDAA, yep.
Instead of vetoing it, and if he really, really feels that strong about it, okay, fucking line item veto it. Don't hold up the whole goddamn bill just because of that. And like, let soldiers go through that whole like, oh, are we getting paid on the first? You know, thing.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, yeah. No, we're all worried about who's going to get paid or not. But anyway,
right,
so that's why I was
names.
Just like this. Yeah, just over this week. I mean, these are individuals that
especially because
really.
Okay, you're about to not be the president. It's going to get changed next year. You know, because I seriously doubt the Senate is going to hold it up over that, especially even if Republicans retain control over that very slim margin, because the National Defense Act usually passes at a veto-proof margin. You know, it's never something that's held up because, you know, too many of the states, especially like those big red states like Texas, and, you know, everywhere else, like they have like too much money invested in like the military that pork, you know, so they're not going to say, hey, fuck this just because you guys don't want to sign it because some names. I'm pretty sure all these like, you know, senators and shit around in Texas don't give a fuck because like, oh no, Fort Hood, San Antonio, everywhere down here gets too much of that money. So they're going to like, oh no, we'll sign it. We don't care. You can change the name to fucking Casper the Friendly Ghost for all I fucking care.
Right. Exactly.
Just give me that money.
Exactly. And that's a lot of them what they do. My point being is that's the whole thing about what we're just talking about. Everyone's just like, everyone flying, you know, throwing the anger in that. What are we gonna wait for so long? The one you had to give cookies to in the chat right now. What are we gonna wait for so long? What are we gonna do this? I'm gonna tell you what right now. You know, streamers, they actually have bumpers and stuff like that and provide a little bit of a preview of what's happening to provide quality entertainment for you, the WTF Nation. And everyone's complaining, you guys don't do this shit right. And all these individual freaking sharpshooting people that will like to come on and sharpshoot the way we do stuff. Well, there's a Facebook page. And as a matter of fact, you can go on YouTube and you can start up your own shit. If you think you don't want to be here, then you know, just don't let the door
hit you in the ass on the way out. Yeah. So that's it. That's simple shit. But that I got when I was like, dude. Then some of the hate that you were talking about too earlier. I was like, God damn, what the hell is wrong with everybody with crying about some of the most? I mean, you throw you throw a bunch of MAGAs together and a bunch of Antifas together, and you throw all that stuff, and it's they're like tearing each other apart. They're eating each other up. It's fucking hilarious. I mean, it's really funny the way.
Sit back and watch the world burn.
Right, dude. Especially me. I'm paid to do this stuff. I want. My son's laughing at me because I'm like motioning like I'm I'm talking with my hands. I'm being very animated right now. My boy sees it and he's like laughing at me. But yeah, I just like got it. And so when I was posting those signs, and it was just in that. I was also talking about changing the because we talked about the changing of the installations to one of them to Fort Harriet Tubman, Fort Pistawa for JRTC. And if you read the history of some of these individuals, everyone talks about, it's history, it's history, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's what we're doing. If you guys don't know who Master Sergeant Roy Benavides is, look him up. If you don't know who Alwyn Cash, Sergeant First Class Alwyn Cash is from the 3rd Infantry Division, who was assigned and stationed at Fort Benning, which is the significance of that, which we're going to get into a Benning story that's going to piss you off in a minute, but I don't know, whatever. It's just going to piss me off because I'm But
I already got mad now that you brought it up.
Yeah, I got mad again. Yeah, exactly. Once we start, we're gonna highlight this, but damn, dude, it's like, who cares? Everyone likes to get mad about this stuff, and not to mention the back is, I'm trying to look at, what significance does this have to you? If you had served in the military or something like that, I could see you have, some conversations about it. I can see that. I can definitely see. This show's been brought to you by I'm drinking Jack and Coke, but I'm drinking that cinnamon Jack with Coke. Yeah, cinnamon Jack. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But at any rate,
that sounds a little more fancy than Fireball.
Yeah, exactly. But at any rate, yeah, it was one of those things to where I'm just like. It's about first line leadership, exactly. Yeah, I just don't understand why everyone's like flying from everywhere, flying from everybody. It's just like, God, you just leave the hate out this because if you have nothing about it. As a matter of fact, there was another one. Was Fort Grant for Fort Lee. I mean, I was pissing a bunch of people off. They were like, I can't believe you had my curiosity and now we're going to fight. I'm like, all right, put down your White Claw. Where we're meeting, son. I was even like some nurses and stuff like that. Some renaming installation. It was just ideas and stuff. For Edith Nurse Rogers, for Fort Lee. Just a bunch of stuff. These are just ideas. I'm not like the lobbyist or the purveyor for this. I was just giving some ideas and throwing the skills at Photoshop with some assistance, and that's all it was. You realize this is funny as shit. Wait, what? So Josh Trask says what? Fort Benning's name changed. What was Fort Benning? No, we're just suggesting it that there's a plan right now that once this happen, I have a feeling that Congress is gonna with a new administration, if we're gonna have an administration. What's going on with our administration? At any rate. So with that, that was the whole thing, and so I was just kind of thinking like, man, dude, this is like, it's really not a big fucking deal to fucking get pissed off or upset, especially if you have no ties to it, especially if you have nothing to do with it, especially if you have, I mean, these are names that have some historical reasoning behind it. It's not just an arbitrary throw to do it. So I just want everybody to know that's what it was. But damn, everyone's angry. Everyone coming in the chat's all angry. I'm like, gosh.
It's really like you're not going to hurt my feelings if you change the name of Fort Hood.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like I ever said back at Hood.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, all you brag fuckers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can change Fort Hood. I mean, who cares? It's like there's individuals that really get tied up. I get really upset. It just blows me away. God damn. Some of you individuals don't even have anything to do with the Army to begin with, to shut up.
Fort Hoodie. Sean Fort Hoodie. But anyways, they better not fuck with Bragg. Oh yeah. Oh, we had names for Fort Bragg too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Fort Bragg. We had Fort Gavin. We had Fort Gavin up there. Fort Ridgeway. There's another one. So Fort Hood does count as a deployment for real, man.
Right? We should get hazardous duty pay around here.
Yeah, exactly. Fort Hood should definitely get extra pay. On top
even
of
just
extra
a
pay.
clean area.
Even just if you're within the if you're in the what's the name of the highway again? 35 interchange or something like that.
35 goes around. It's 190 that comes.
190 that comes. Yeah.
Well, it's I-14.
It's
now.
I-14. Yeah, but it used to be. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. But yeah, see, everyone's like, everyone's like going off. See, again, everyone's like, "Raw, you can't be serious." Raw. Josh is like, "Raw." Getting mad at me too, just because we're just offering suggestions, like I have the power to do it. Like I have,
right? Like it's our idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Signs ourselves. We're gonna put in the work order in DPW.
As a matter of fact, thanks, Josh. I will now be, because of you. Thank you for electing me the arbiter of this selection. Now I will be at the forefront. You will see me in the news with the lobbying effort to change it. There you go. Thanks, man. Thanks for the innovation here, and thanks for the inspiration to do so.
That's great. I'm just going to go build a sign and hang it up myself. Yeah, that's how you do change.
Yeah, exactly. You knew the power of the dark side. Exactly. There you go. Hey, just real quick, don't be posting no spam in the chats. I'm gonna tell you right now. So if you've been posting some shit in there, you might as well delete it, or you'll get banned. We don't tolerate them spamming shits in there. Come in there and talk shit and throw your jokes and all this other stuff. I love it, and we'll engage with you.
I'm not invested in your Bitcoin.
But I don't want no damn Bitcoin business, because it will get deleted and it'll get removed and then bam. But let me see if I got a sign for Fort Bragg, just so I can get see if we can get Josh there to start punching walls.
It's okay, Kyle.
Just mess with you, Josh. I know there's some people. Don't get me wrong. Fort Bragg, it's a big deal. It's kind of like. But it's just like, man, it's just like, I don't know. It just, again, I feel, I mean, these are good points. These are awful, good points. Fort Sparkies. Exactly. Fort Sparkies. Instead of All American Highways, the All American Secrets, All American Secrets Highway. So, but anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So let's go back to Fort Benning. Let's go back to the story of Fort Benning, that this made the news, but a lot of individuals did not know that this was a soldier. A lot of individuals, this was a recent event. It came out real quick and go, oh, man, that's messed up. This was brought up to my attention by Haley Britsky, our friends at the station here at WTF Nation Radio, and also she's a reporter at Task and Purpose. An active duty soldier stationed at Fort Benning is facing reckless murder charge after he reportedly made his girlfriend, 5-year-old son, get out of their vehicle because he was being unruly and leading him to be struck and killed by another vehicle on the highway. Yeah, I'm going to say his name. Sergeant First Class Brian Starr was driving about 8 p.m. on Sunday when the boy, identified as Austin Birdseye, began acting unruly in the car. Starr reportedly pulled over at the church and told the kid to get out of the car while it was raining. He lost track of the boy, who then wandered onto a busy highway and was struck by another vehicle. Yeah. Such a badass, huh?
That's so awful. I know we've all, heard those, like my mom and dad used to say, don't make me pull his car over. But they never did it. Or kick me out in the rain. It's awful.
It's sad as shit. No, it's sad as shit.
Oh, it is.
Ben Garrett, the spokesman for Fort Benning, confirmed that Starr turned himself into Russell County regarding the tragic death of the 5-year-old boy in his care. Garrett says that we're deeply saddened by this tragic event and extend our heartfelt condolences to the family of the deceased. Starr is from Marengo. I don't give a fuck where he's from. Starr, assigned to the 3rd Squadron, 16th Cavalry Regiment, 316 Cav Brigade, has completed 17 years of service in one combat deployment to Iraq. According to WRLB, investigators are still working to determine Dude, I'm just like, I'm getting infuriated just reading this. How the little boy was outside the car before he was hit when they were just a few miles away from the house. Russell County
because he kicked him out of the car.
Yeah, because he kicked him out of the car.
What more there's to determine? He's 5.
Right.
He didn't just jump out.
You know, you gotta remember, this is the girlfriend, and that's the 5-year-old boy. If I was the dad, that dude better be in fucking jail.
And listen, y'all single mamas out there, I know, I've been one for many years. Me and my daughter's dad got divorced when she was 3. Don't ever put no boyfriend above your kid.
Ever.
I'll come kick your ass myself.
Right.
I will. I'll do it.
Right.
If you need someone to watch your kid, like while you go out and date, hey, call me. Don't be like bringing your babies around these boyfriends that are gonna and let this man try to kick my kid out the car. I'll throw his ass out the fucking car in the middle of the goddamn rain. He can get run over by a fucking car. I swear I want to go kick this guy and that baby's mama's ass too.
Yeah, that's right, Laura. He was dark and raining. He was being a dick. We got some other additional details too from other individuals too that weren't confirmed in the story, but that were put in the story. But I can imagine, like I said, here's what the sheriff said. I can't imagine the mother's grief, what she's going through. It's just rough. What do you say to that? What is your thought process when you tell a 5-year-old to get out of the car on a rainy night because they were loud in the car? You better get out. You better get out and you better walk. Is that some kind of tough guy shit? Exactly. And the boy's pissed off.
Yeah, I kicked his ass out the motherfucking car.
Yeah, I would exactly that, Josh. I would. Oh man, if I was a dad, yeah, that's just infuriating, man. I'd get in that. He's glad he had turned himself in. It wouldn't be throwing hands too.
He did.
That's probably exactly.
The daddy was probably after his ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. I was about ready to say Trout. He's about that. Yeah, Trout. You're just like right there with me, man. He's gonna try to claim PTSD. I bet.
I'm sorry, that's not an excuse.
Yeah.
It isn't.
No.
It is. Okay, and I know there are lots of parents out there that struggle with it, and I have seen it. I have seen them like, okay, they lock their kid in a room and go call somebody because they are that close to losing their shit. And I have more respect from them because their kid's not going to hurt themselves locked in a room until it takes 10, 15 minutes for someone else to get over there. And I'm not going to be mad at them. I'm not, because they're that close to losing their shit. And it happens. There's postpartum depression. There's all sorts of things that can be wrong with a parent. But to leave them out in the middle of the fucking street where they can get hurt, yeah, no, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's in the exactly that. There would be no jail. I would be the dad showing up. When is he out? As a matter of fact, I would post his bond. I would post the guy's bond. I was like, he's in jail. What's his bond? As a matter of fact, what's his bond? So that way, what's going to be my bond? Because I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do.
I'm going to pay them both right now.
Yeah, as a matter, I'm going to pay my bond because I know this is what's going to happen. And yeah, I don't even think the cops would even look. I think they'd look the other way if that was like, you know what I mean?
No, I would if I was with a cop, I'd be like, oh, okay, hold on a second. He's going to be getting transported at this time.
Right. Oh, he's
time. Oh, and I'll say his name again. It's Sergeant First Class Brian Starr. Because y'all are asking his name, Brian Starr.
Cav of Cav excellence.
Yeah.
That infuriates me. I mean, don't get me wrong, because this is the same age as my kid, and he does get loud. I'm gonna tell you what. There's times where I've
5-year-olds get unruly.
5 years get loud. Toddlers get loud. I got one right now laughing at me because I'm
16-year-olds do too.
I was about to say, freaking. Oh man. I just unfreaking real. Unfreaking real. Anyways, so
let's take a visit.
You was about to say you want to go on a trip? I'm going to be visiting Fort Benning anyways, to hang out with General Donahoe.
Fort Allen Cash.
Yeah, Fort Allen Cash again. But anyways, my whole point being is that this is right here. It's just something that it was on the news, but no one had identified this individual as a soldier. And so, guess what? That this would be a pretty good idea to go ahead and just say, see you. But, anyways, what's the next topic we're talking about? I'm just like, what were we talking about?
Lighten up the mood just a little bit.
You're gonna lighten up the mood? A little sunshine.
3
Okay.
December.
Oh yeah. So 3 December. Yeah. Lighten up the mood. Lighten up the mood. Well, there's a story out right now this is a good story. Then how about this?
Okay.
We'll talk about this story. This is a good story that would be good, and I'll show it to you right now, and that way you can see what it is. And I think this is a good story, so that way it'll be a good. It's a good feel-good story about the American soldier and the conduct that they do when you're not being watched. An Army sergeant was awarded a soldier's medal for saving a man from a burning vehicle. See, there you go. That's a good.
Okay.
That's a good feel-good story.
Better.
That's
someone was burning, but
yeah, he was saving somebody. Yeah, so an Army sergeant was awarded the soldier's medal on Monday for heroically saving a man who was burning from a vehicle last year. On 16 March 2019, Sergeant Alexander Jabin, a satellite operator maintainer with a headquarters detachment, 4th Battalion, 1st Special Forces Group Airborne, was at Joint JBLM when a car caught fire with a driver stuck inside. The non-commissioned officer on duty near the scene, Sergeant Comey Mayo, said in a release that Jabin ran past me, calling for someone to call the fire department, quickly dove under the fence and ran to the car that was on fire. Two other soldiers that were assigned to the 1st Special Forces Group at the time, Specialist Josiah Carayos and Aaron Cavazos, had already arrived at the scene of the accident, but found that the driver was stuck. Cavazos said that he had backed away from the fire as it got more intense, and that's when Jabin immediately rushed in and attempted to free the driver. Jabin said in the release that he tried to rip the door open, but he could only rip off some car parts, and said he realized he needed to cut away the seatbelt to free the driver. Quote, I went back under the fence yelling for someone to give me a knife to cut the seatbelt. Sergeant Mayo tossed me the knife, and then I looked and immediately noticed the flames had engulfed the car and the driver had caught on fire. The man was able to stick his upper body out of the window and was screaming for help, but Jabin said he figured he could be pulled out of the window and rushed back and did just that. So he, Cavazos, and Carayos would then work to smother the flames still on the man's body, and Jabin used Emmanuel's knife to cut away his burning clothes. Jabin, who sustained second-degree burns to his face, arms, hands during the rescue, said he just did, quote, simply what anyone else would have done in my position, but emphasized that it did not same by himself. I think that was a typo. In the Army, no one succeeds alone. I did my part alongside others. But Lieutenant General Randy George, commander of I Corps and JBLN, said during the award ceremony that Jabin's discipline, expertise, your fitness, your presence of mind, and amidst so much uncertainty and danger, saved a person's life. So the words, the soldier's medal are for valor etched in the backside of the medal, George said, and Sergeant Jabin's absolutely personified these words as he reminded us by his actions what a ready soldier looks like. Acting with initiative, he moved quickly to save another person's life, and he did this at the very real risk of sacrificing his own life. Shit.
I mean, absolutely. He had no reason to go injure himself and everything else. He did that. I have to be just a little bit negative. What took so long to get this award approved?
Well, for something for something like that, a lot of it would be the fact that there's a process that has to go through for a soldier's medal, just like it has to be, because it's a valor award but during peacetime. But it's the same thing, almost like getting a Distinguished Service Cross, a Silver Star, Medal of Honor. There's got to be processes and stuff like that. So in other words, he had to have had people say, yes, I saw that sergeant running and fire and grabbing and all this other stuff.
I know, I get that, but I'm just like, for it to take almost 2 years, I mean, I could get it. I'd understand if it was like, nobody saw it except for, let's say, the victim, and the victim is the one that had to tell the story, and
right.
But it was well deserved. It was witnessed by how many people that, they were just saying. I'm just like, I don't understand why this stuff takes so long. I mean, I do, because, of the jobs I've used to work,
right.
But it's just like, something needs to be done about the whole award system, and you know how I feel.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
all that.
Well,
This kid
we would have not
deserved and
right.
received it.
We would not have been in the situation with all in cash if the award system had been squared away.
Right.
I know there's plenty of individuals that I know that awards have gotten screwed over because of the same fucking thing. You know.
Oh yeah, just because we don't have time to get you.
We don't have time for that.
We're just going to give you this.
I don't think that soldier deserves an award, and it's usually individuals that it's usually like that individuals that killed that kid. It would be would be like somebody like that who'd say you don't deserve that kind of award.
Oh yeah,
they'd be that kind of person. They'd be the straight big sarge.
I don't want to do the work to get you the award you deserve.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Well, I mean, you really have to think about this too. Is that they have witnesses? They had police reports. I'm pretty sure that the victim in the accident probably said the same thing. He's like, yeah, that fucking dude just came in and just did this shit. And then there you go. Then you're good to go. So, but I was just kind of wondering. I mean, don't Joes carry knives anymore? I mean, do they not carry?
I mean, I carried one.
I was about to say, yeah,
but I carried one.
Yeah, you got kind of like messed with if you were down on the line and you didn't. Hey, you got a Gerber or knife? What? You don't have one? That's always that. You know what I mean? That's always the. You don't have a knife? I always, and then the next thing you know, you ask for a knife.
I was on hood all the time. I needed one.
Okay, zinga, zinga. Oh man, that's a good point. Didn't really have to do it at Bragg though, because like I said, everybody had. If you wanted a knife, you had a knife. You just say, "Hey, I need a knife." When we throwing knives at you and shit, so it's just like it's funny about that stuff. But anyways, yeah. So that's a good story. I mean, I think that's so. That is a really good story. A really good story once again from Haley Britsky. She's on a roll with some stories this week, man. Last couple weeks.
She indeed is. So, she's my favorite task and purpose reporter now. Don't tell the others.
Don't tell the others. Okay. All right. Everybody gather around. Haley Britsky. Haley, quiet. All you million listeners and followers and stuff. It's between us. That's Spanky's favorite one. I like. What's wrong with Paul? What's wrong with Paul and the other guys?
Wrong with Paul.
Okay, I'm just saying,
What's wrong with? I said don't tell the others.
Oh, okay. I won't tell the others. All right, man. Anyway, so congrats, Sergeant Alexander Jabin, on your award, man. That's awesome. And it just again personifies the soldier spirit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm all about that shit. See, that's some good news stories. So,
the reason there is a soldier's medal.
Right. Exactly that. Yeah, but. What was I going to say next? Oh, is there anything happening? Do we have anything big? Anything else? Do we have a story that's going to be released or something like that? I think there's something that's going to be released on the 8th. Somebody said, "Hey, make sure you talk about this."
There is something coming up on the 8th, and it's escaping my mind.
Yeah, there's something.
And I was just wondering why it was going to take so long when they first announced it. I'm like, why we got to wait till the 8th?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was.
You guys probably have all the PowerPoints ready.
Yeah.
And you've probably already been briefed. So why do I have to wait?
Exactly.
Is something going to change between now and the 8th? What the hell?
Exactly. My biggest thing is that you have the you have a fucking I think it's the new AR 670-1 is going to get released. Is that what it was? The new DA PAM, the new AR. There's going to be something else. I think there's going to be a COVID report going to be released. All the Rona and stuff that's happening. Because there's a lot of Rona-ing happening. And don't worry, audience, nation, we will make sure, because this is Thursday, and of course it's Screenshot Madness, and we'll be able to highlight some of your favorite screenshots from your leadership that's being sent down to the troops, and then it makes you want to go, well, why would you send something like this? I think it's fucking hilarious. But anyways.
It's no fair that the 8th is on a Tuesday.
What's that? Why? What's up? What?
The 8th is on a Tuesday. No, the 8th of December was the Fort Hood findings are going to get released.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Oh, I thought you were totally joking that you didn't remember.
No, that's what it was for real. I was like, fuck.
No, I thought
it was on the tip of my dome, man.
Remember.
No, I was like, it was in the front end of my. Oh my god, it was in the front tip of my brain housing there. Yeah, no, you're right. That's exactly
that's
it.
Why I'm like, CQ doesn't talk about this kind of stuff, and it comes out on a Tuesday.
You ain't lying,
so
Stanley.
We'll have to talk about it next Thursday on
mine
the 10th,
is the first thing to fucking go, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, exactly that. The findings from Fort Hood. Exactly that. Findings from Fort Hood, from the hood. That's what's being released. We're all anticipating that, and we're going to be highlighting it on the 10th
with Sergeant's Time. That's going to be a big hot news item because we're going to be going over some stuff and discussing it. I'm trying to get the Secretary of the Army to join us to shoot the shit about it.
We don't have one of those no more. We don't have
no, that's the Secretary of Defense or something. I think that was the Assistant of Excellence, I guess. Now we have a Secretary of the Army. He's cool. He's the one that's still hanging around. It's the multiple Sec Defs of Excellence that we have that we don't know.
I can't keep up. So many people keep getting fired or quitting.
Yeah.
Out.
No, but
yeah. I got to keep a chart.
So thanks.
Like a flow chart.
So thank you again, Spanky, for reminding me about the fact that the Fort Hood findings are going to be released. So there you go.
Yeah, and they've already concluded the investigation or whatever, and everybody knows. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. Go ahead and tell us. What are you trying to not release to us? What are you trying to keep a secret? The place sucks. There's toxic leadership. There's sexual harassment. I'm sure that there's a lot of that everywhere. But
I would like to say, I'm about to say, what is this? A confirmation of the sucking of excellence or something? Is that what it is?
Right. Shit.
The great place. It's gonna.
The kids at the gate don't even fake it anymore.
Right. The kids yeah.
They just
whatever.
Here you go. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. What's up with the ID cards?
You're not even welcoming me to the great place anymore.
As a matter of fact,
this is bullshit.
You're not gonna fucking shoot up the place, right? No. Okay. Just go fucking through. Sorry. Just go fucking through.
Let me go pick up my prescription.
People don't even want to shoot at the place anymore.
They're doing
man.
It'll just be another day in the hood if someone commits a mass murder here.
Exactly, cause the findings have uncovered that Fort Hood is no longer the great place. I can't wait for this news breaking facts that's going to come out. Cannot wait.
Oh my god.
God, that's fucking hilarious. There's no lie, cause you're damn right it's going to be that. News just breaking right now. Fort Hood is no longer the great. Hey, Devil Blog, you listening? Devil Blog likes to listen to us too. And yeah,
Duffel Blog's hitting a little too close to real life now.
It is. It's getting.
Real?
It's almost like becoming real world stuff. We're gonna go ahead and take a break right quick, and then we'll be right back with our guest TK, and he'll be able to shoot the shit and talk about some stuff has had happen recently. God, that didn't even sound right. And he's going to be talking about Verve CBD stuff. So if you're ETSing from the Army, if this is just to be for you guys to listen to for pain management, and of course we'll talk about a little bit about the VA stuff, a little bit about that. So that's why he's on. But he's also me and him we were supposed to do some shit a long time ago, so we're going to catch up on that stuff too. So everyone, go ahead and refill your glasses, go take a leak, and shots, stand by.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo in my 50-pound sack. Boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day tried to talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here. We ain't far from Kandahar.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back with part 2 of Sergeant's Time with our guest, TK, Tim Klund. How you doing, man?
Yes, sir. What's up, family? How are you guys?
Oh man, dude, it has. I know you're out and traveling. You're out there moving and shaking, bro. How have you been, man?
Oh man, just doing phenomenal. Just having a great time. How about yourself?
Man. Well, we were supposed to have. Let's see. We were supposed to have done something over the summer that didn't happen. Well, and
Yes.
got canceled, and we had to cancel like flight tickets, and we had to cancel rooms, and we had to cancel guest lists, and so yeah, we were supposed to hang out.
Back that we're actually, sometimes when you go through adversity, and things get canceled, then opportunities arise from it, right?
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you perfect.
Okay, so yeah, we went. So what happened is the stadium we were working with actually just sold out to a cricket organization, and they're changing the whole stadium from baseball to cricket, which I don't understand cricket, so I don't know how the stadium's going to look. But the great thing is, because of that, now we've been able to work with Global Life Park, where the new Texas Rangers baseball stadium is.
Right.
And we're going to actually hold our games here.
Oh, nice.
At this stadium.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, so May 15th, when you guys come back, actually probably in on the 14th, May 15th, we'll actually be playing in the new Global Life Field here in Arlington, Texas, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Okay, so
Yeah.
everyone's like probably wondering what's going on behind you. So where are you at right now?
I'm actually in Arlington, Texas. We're actually at the NFR, National Finals Rodeo. Maybe it's National Rodeo Finals. In our NFR, National Final Rodeo here in Arlington, Texas. Is where we are. In one of the suites.
Right.
So,
and
pretty good little time.
And could you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? I mean, because you're also a noted author and
I've just been very blessed, man. Straight out of high school, I had a scholarship opportunity to go play college football, blew it, and my dad was smart enough to get me into the military, went into the Air Force. Actually, I turned 18 in basic training, and I had a great career in the Air Force, 6.5 years. Played all Air Force softball, traveled, just had a great time, and actually took the early out in 95, and was just ready to start getting into the corporate world, making money, and doing other things, and went into manufactured home sales, and kind of just rose through the ranks pretty quick. In 2000, I came, actually in 99, came to Texas with Fortune 500 company Oakwood Homes, was in a car accident, literally died 4 times. While we were sitting at home waiting for the bells in my head to go off, my wife was like, hey, what, you going back? And now I don't think I'm doing 7 days a week anymore. And, what's our plans? I was watching Jerry Maguire. And at this point, I've never knew a professional athlete, never worked with a professional athlete. My wife was like, oh my God, you hit your head way too hard. You need to go see the doctor. And then a buddy of mine called me and says, hey, look, we're looking for a new VP of sales in our corporate, I want you to throw your name in the hat. I did end up getting the opportunity. And then probably about a month after, I actually met my first NFL athlete just by chance, Lemuel Stinson. And he and I, having a few drinks, gave my card, didn't think twice about it. 2 weeks later, he called me and said, hey, I want you to handle all my marketing. And so I started doing stuff with him, and he introduced me to Super Bowl MVP Larry Brown from the Cowboys, and went to Michael Irvin, Emmett, and Troy, and just kind of went crazy from there. And then in 2005, so I had kind of 2 parallel careers going. I had the corporate world going, and I also had the fun stuff as well, which was work with professional athletes and celebrities, and handling all that stuff, their marketing, name branding, different things like that. Sitting on a lot of different foundation boards, Big Brothers Big Sisters, different military foundation boards. So I was getting my athletes and celebrities in touch with them, and having them get involved, and just kind of escalated success. And then in 2008, when the economy was taking a dump on the world, decided that, I'm going to leave the corporate world, and if I'm going to make people millions of dollars, it'd be me and my family, not the corporate. So we have a few companies. Verve Systems is our parent company. And underneath it, we have a CBD company called Verve Forever, verveforever.com. Then we have an apparel company, Patriotic Apparel. But we also do calls related apparel that we help other foundations raise money. So it don't cost them anything to buy T-shirts or, hats and promotional products like that. They just go through us. We carry the load. We take the risk. And everybody just, mass markets us out. And then, the foundations make money off that. And it's a way for them to make some money without putting up a lot of money, hoping for the best. So, and that's been really well. And then, we have some other really cool products coming out at the beginning of the year. So, a little busy. Yeah. And then I ended up writing a book in 2017 with tactical16.com.
Yep.
Stop Whining, Start Winning.
Damn right.
Did well. We ended up writing another, got the 2.0 came out in 2019. On top of that, I do celebrity softball games. Myself, Matthew McConaughey, Toby Keith, Roger Clemens, we're all partners in a celebrity softball game that kicks off OUUT weekend, University of Oklahoma versus University of Texas weekend. It's all alumni. I mean, just the best of the best from both schools. We do that on Thursday nights. Great way to get the weekend kicked off. And then because of that game, a lot of my other celebrities and veterans started coming in going, hey, well, what about us? We want a game. So we ended up putting together the Memorial Day game, which you were going to come and play in.
Yep.
In 2020, that kept getting pushed because of COVID. But again, like I said before we got on the air, is the good news is both games will probably end up being at Globe Life Park here in Arlington, where the Texas Rangers play at the new stadium.
Nice.
Which should be a lot of fun. And that's the background you're hearing right now. That's where I'm at right now with the, again, National Final Rodeo, sitting in a suite enjoying life. So.
Now, real quick, that book, Stop Whining, Start Winning. I love that book, dude. I mean, we when you first came on here and shot. That matter of fact, that was the thing that you talked about on your first appearance on WTF Nation Radio.
Yep.
And could you give the audience just a little bit? And you guys, if you want to go on Amazon, it's still for sale.
Well, actually, you just go to tactical16.com. That's where it's actually sold at now.
Okay.
As a publishing company, they were smart enough to say, let's pull everything off Amazon and just keep it in house.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. All right. Awesome.
They've got so many amazing veteran authors and other individuals that have their books through Tactical 16. So tactical16.com. But what happened is, through my life, it's just everything's a stage in life. You get to one point and you feel like, man, now what happened? You got to reinvent yourself and you go to another point. And so what happened is I always get a lot of people say, man, how did you get from A to B? You're not college educated. I actually did take one semester of college in the Air Force, got a 4.0. My thoughts were, hey, I'm never going to need college. I'm going to walk out while I'm on top. As an idiot, I should have went and finished it up, but I didn't. So I got one semester, 4.0. I went out on top. And, but yeah, so what happened is people are like, man, how did you get to the levels you got to? Because, in society, the mindset is you can't be successful unless you have the bachelor's, you have a master's, you have a PhD, and the other side of success is adversity. So, which I wouldn't wish on anybody, but that's the only way you're going to be successful in life. Now, the good news for me is I've had so much adversity in my life that things have become easy.
Right.
And then what happens is you start realizing and enjoying that the great times that in your life, man, they're great. And the adversity times, the really tough times, trust me, mine are still as good as my good times.
Right.
Neither one really control or dictate my emotions. And when you can get to that point where you can, whether you're going tough and just realize this part of life, then all of a sudden everything becomes easy, right? So Stop Whining, Start Winning is literally a book that is broke down. Again, it's a cheat book on how to get from A to B and just lessons I've learned through some great mentors and, throughout the military, my work ethic, and just different things that I've learned over, I'm 50 now, but really probably 25 years. How I got from A to B, and
right.
Have been able to be successful in doing so.
Well, I mean, that's one thing.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Yeah, right. Especially some of the stuff that we were going through and what we were talking about. Everything just kept shifting. That's one thing I like. That's why we like working with you, man. We were positive the whole way. Everyone's like, "Hey, it's not going to work this way. Let's move it this way." And we're like, "Yeah, cool." It was like not a big deal. You know what I mean? That's what I think people forget.
Nothing is. I mean, people get too wrapped up into thinking that everything has to fit in a square box, and the reality is life is not going to fit in a square box. You just have to be ready to go with the flow. Again, believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing, have a passion for what you're doing. And if you realize that, listen, you're going to get your rear end kicked more so than you're going to be successful. If you can figure that out in everything you do, life becomes pretty easy at that point.
Right.
It really does.
Right. So with that, then how did you get into Verve? Tell us tell us about Verve Systems, man. I mean, I've gotten the side stuff from you and all that, and you even made me, you even shot me an invite to the Verve group. And how does one become a Verve ambassador?
It's pretty easy. You can actually go to verveforever.com and just click on affiliates. And so we have an affiliate program that people can sign up. Now, most everybody comes as 15%. My celebrities that come and get involved, they're at 20%. So, and then they just mass market it out through their social media, right? And so that's kind of how we've been able to grow so fast. But what happened is I was with another company that did performance mouthpieces, but it was a custom fit mouthpiece, and it was $800. And we thought we were doing good. We got it down from $2,500 per mouth guard to $800. But I had probably 400 top professional athletes around the world wearing it. Professional athletes want things free. The NCAA kids and the high school and junior high kids, parents were like, man, we can't afford $800. So after about 6.5 years, I was like, you know what? I'm going to create a company. I had the other company buy me out. And I really didn't know if I was going to do anything else. And that's kind of where I wrote the book and kind of got this, the original Red River Celebrity Game started.
Right.
And then people kept calling me about wanting to come with their company, help them with their mouthpiece company, blah, blah, blah. And then my wife was like, I don't know why you just don't do your own. I mean, you know what to do. You're educating everybody else. You really want the resources. You want the athletes, the celebrities. Why don't you just do your own? And so that's really what kind of changed it for me to go, yeah, let's go do it. So in 2018, we're kind of getting our financial package together for investors. Started working on that. Well, at the beginning of 2019, the Farm Bill passed, legalized the CBD and hemp. So what happened with that is a friend of mine, you guys know Boone Cutler.
Yep.
Who has helped another great company, Warfighter Hemp.
Yep.
So he was like, hey, man, you guys should create a CBD company with all your ambassadors and all the veterans you're working with and blah, blah, blah. And I was taking Warfighter Hemp product as well. And so that's what we did. We created our own. And, we just kept it real tight, just products that work, right? We're not trying to sell 50,000 products on our site. It's pretty streamlined, and it's only stuff that works. Now, for our veteran community, we give 50% off 100% of the time. And all they have to do is just, when they're getting ready to check out, just put the code VET50, VET50, and they'll get 50% off, and the family members. And we do it on a, honorable system, a handshake that you're just going to be honorable about it and truthful about it, that you're a veteran and that's what you're doing. So, we don't have people fill out everything, showing us, proving who they are and all that. We just, we don't want to get in all that. We don't want to carry people's information. So we try to make it about as easy as possible. And, it's done really, really well. And then we got into Verve United, like I said, this is more patriotic apparel and, philanthropic causes to help raise money for different foundations. And we started that July 1st of 19. And then we have our performance mouthpieces, and commercials will come out in 2021. Would have came out this year, but COVID ended up, manufacturing got shut down as we're getting ready to start chilling everything up. And, it was just like, you know what, we'll come back when this is over with. So now as everything's kind of getting to the end of it, looks like, beginning of the year,
right.
We'll kind of get everything ramped up and get going down that line. And that's really our bread and butter, our performance mouthpieces. Everything else is just, beneficial and really just trying to make a difference in people's lives. Is really what it boils down to.
Yeah. Currently right now, the government, the DOD has said that, we're not, the soldiers can still be punished if they use any type of hemp or cannabinol products, right?
Correct.
So
right. I think they just changed that though, not too long ago. It's kind of on a fence post. Some says yes, some says no. It hasn't really, I don't think, overall come out. But the problem is, and what I learned from Boone, actually what I learned from a couple of my friends that are Navy SEALs, is just how over-medicated our veteran community is. And the more I started looking at that, and then started kind of saying, well, guys were taking anywhere from 20, 30 pills per day. Suicide rates through the roof. All those chemicals in people's bodies are not a good thing. And that's what I learned from the CBD, is how CBD, especially like even Boone's case, CBD was able to help him. He went from all these meds, he was smoking weed to help get off the meds. But, we're all A personality, so he didn't like being lethargic. With the CBD, was able to get back on track, right? So what I started looking at is a lot of my professional athletes, when they retire, what happens? They go, they call their NFLPA insurance or hockey or whatever, MLB, And they say, here's your doctors in your local area. Go, go pick one out. You go in. What's wrong? I got this. Here's pills. You come back. Well, now I'm struggling with this. Here's more pills. Yeah. So it's the same trap on them. Yep. Then you start looking at the civilian community. It's the same thing for them too, right? And prescription meds are really supposed to be short term, but somehow along the line, they've become a long-term solution for individuals that was supposed to be a short term. If any of that makes sense.
No, exactly it. It's supposed to be helping you get mended, not helping not helping you get dependent on anything. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's why I think, and that's why the suicide rate's so high.
Right.
Again, and then the other thing is you look at, when I was talking to my wife, so let's talk about World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, Desert Storm. Out of those, which one would you think would be the worst ones? My wife's like, well, probably World War I, World War II, because you got shipped off, you never came back, and you were walking. You're hand to hand, and so those guys didn't have suicide problems. They came back and they ended up kind of taking care of themselves through alcoholism, right? So your World War I guys, your grandfathers from World War II, they were guys that would come home from work, have drinks, or stop on the way home and have a few drinks before they got home and have a few drinks. So they used alcohol to kind of help them get through what they did. And then, the prescription meds really didn't come around until the post 9/11 guys. So now the post 9/11 guys are taking all these pills, and that's when our suicide rate has gone through the roof. Now, Vietnam, everybody was taking, smoking weed, heroin, and that's when our homeless population in the United States exploded, because all these guys and girls were coming back from Vietnam, not, struggling with PTS, didn't know how to escape it, and just ended up, disappearing from society, right?
Right.
So again, you look at the suicide rate, and then you look at like young kids. So like, I don't know if you ever taken an Adderall pill, but I took one working out for my trainer who was a professional athlete. I forgot my $5 He's like, I'll take an Adderall. I was like, I've never taken an Adderall. And he gave me a little pill, and I was getting ready to take it. I'll take half. This is at 5 a.m. in the morning. At 1 a.m. the next morning, I'm still wide awake, working my rear end out, like looking for stuff to do, right? And I only took a half, and I got to get back up in 4 hours to go train again, right? And I was like, man, they're feeding this to like elementary kids? Like what? And which they are. And so I think that's where our issues are in society, is that everybody's being just so over medicated, and all those chemicals in your body is not a good thing, and it just throws your body off balance. And that's why we created the CBD line, to help people where they can get off those prescription meds, to actually help them,
that brings
their
me
bellies organically, right?
Right, exactly. That was my next one. You also have CBD for kids, right? For they're dealing with seizures and stuff like that.
I actually work with a lot of kids that have Down syndrome, autism. Really, those two are the really big ones that really help out. We have it for pets. But what we found with Down syndrome kids is that their minds don't turn off. So when their parents put them to bed, those little dudes are up every 5 or 6 times a night, right? Because they can't sleep. So the problem is, again, because their mind won't shut off, they won't relax. And all CBD does is it just reduces inflammation. So when your brain's running all night, that's just being inflamed, right? So what happens is when you take the CBD and everything, all your brain inflammation shuts down, your body aches shut down, and the inflammation shuts off, then you're able to get a good night's sleep. You're able to also, you don't have the aches and pains. But for the little guys, it's unbelievable what it does for them with Downs. They're getting 6-7 hours of sleep, where they were maybe getting really 1 to 2 really good hours. But what we found out through our Downs kids is that their vocabulary has really improved. Instead of like maybe 1 or 2 word sentences, now they're doing 4 or 5 word sentences. And then autism kids, it just helps them stay calm, more relaxed. They're not so thrown off by sounds and noises and fast movements, and they're a little bit more tuned in and not so, oh my goodness. So yeah, it's been unbelievable what it does. And I'm definitely a huge organic guy that, I'm a huge 1,000% against prescription meds. I don't take any myself. My family don't. We actually had our own experience with it. My son, when he was in high school, had bad acne, and a dermatologist gave him a pill that actually creates, it's got super side effects like depression and all these things. And we started finding he had it. And I was telling my wife, like, he's not taking any meds. And she was like, well, he's taking it from the thing. I said, have you researched it? Have you looked into it? And once she did, she was like, oh my God, the side effects are ridiculous. And oh, by the way, guess what? It's the ones that he's having, right? Depression. And there's kids having suicide off this. So, obviously my wife was overly upset at the dermatologist. Like, why would you prescribe this to a 15-year-old?
Right. Exactly.
Like, what are you doing? And so it was just a lesson ourselves that we learned, right? Like, no. So, but a lot of parents don't catch it because, one of my SEAL guys who was taking 30 pills a day, I was like, bro, as smart as you are, how do you not know that's not bad for your body? He's like, look, bro, team members do what team members do, doctors do what doctors do. If the doctor says you take something, you take it, right? And I think society, we all kind of get it. They're the experts, right? So we're trusting them, but we're not really verifying them.
Correct.
On what they're telling us.
Correct.
That's kind of the problem that is going on out there, is that people are just taking the doc's word as gospel that, okay, this is what I need to do, right? And then, people are wondering why kids are shooting up schools and suicide rates.
Right. Exactly.
In the veteran community, this suicide rates throughout the U.S. is just off the charts.
Yeah, the VA still hasn't been honest either with what the stats have been lately, as far as what the accurate stats are.
It's actually closer to 27. I mean, everybody still says 22.
Right.
But the thing is, like, 22 killed great friends of mine, and we've been working together on a lot of things. And the thing is, like, man, the veteran community is educated. We're not stupid on suicide rates.
Right.
We know it. So why is it still happening? Like, if we know it, and I tell guys all the time, like, I've been to several funerals of guys who have taken their own lives. And so have a lot of my combat veteran friends. Now, I'm not a combat veteran. I got out in 95, so I kind of missed all the action. But, when you talk to these guys, like, how can you go to one of your friend's funeral and see what their family's going through? Their family would have wished that their spouse or their dad would have went ahead and fought through the pain instead of taking their own life. They're not doing them a favor.
Right, exactly.
And if you've been there and you've seen that, how can you, in your right mind, take your life knowing you're going to put your family in the same boat? Or your friends in the same boat.
Right, exactly.
Right? But the problem is when you're over medicated, you're taking alcohol, weed, other stuff on top of it. It just takes you that one moment where you're not in your right mind. You're not thinking right. You pull a trigger and it's too late.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's just really sad because a lot of doctors don't want to admit, or a lot of the medical community does not want to admit that there is a benefit to it, and they're so scared of the reefer madness stuff that they're afraid to, like the VA.
It's not even they don't want to admit to it. The problem is big pharma's paying them.
Bingo.
Right.
Exactly. Or buying them up.
Big pharma want this because, listen, if they can take a holistic approach, they don't need the prescription meds, which really would put the big pharma out of business.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
That's really what it boils down to. Like anything in life, it all boils down to money. That's where the greed comes from politicians, everybody else. It always breaks down to that level, right?
Yeah. Speaking of the kids, we were just on air talking about some of the stuff we were working with that was going to be released during the summer. And that is also one of the reasons why you got one of your Facebook pages killed off. And that's the Save Our Children mission that we're doing.
Sawman Sawyer and his unbelievable organization, he does veteransforchildrescue.org. And Sawman and some friends all put money together and created a documentary movie called ContraLandMovie.com.
Yep.
Phenomenal movie on sex trafficking. People need to watch. People don't realize that sex trafficking in the United States actually amounts to more revenue per year than all pro sports teams and minor league sports teams put together. Think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that is on top of the list. Then the drug trade, then professional sports. So what Sawman does is he works with local and federal authorities and educating them and giving them intel on sex trafficking opportunities that they can go in and actually stop. And with the Save Our Children, I was like, Sawman, why don't we do, we got Verve United. Why don't we do a shirt that we can help raise money for you guys, blah, blah, blah. Now, I've been on Facebook 13 years. I've never even had as much as a warning.
Yep.
I've never been in Facebook jail, never had one issue.
Yep.
On the election night at 7 p.m., and oh, by the way, we're running our Verve United Save Our Children shirts. Facebook was letting us actually boost the posts.
Yep.
So they were taking our money, no problem. Okay, so we didn't think twice about it, to be honest with you. And then on the election night, about 7 p.m., my partner, Raj Van Handeri, Raj texts me and says, hey, I think I've been booted off Facebook. I can't get to my page. And I was like, why, what happened? Well, as soon as I texted him that, then I got a text from Facebook, an authentication code text saying, here's the code you need to log back in. Well, I'm going, what the hell? Then my wife texts me. She says, hey, I logged in your, it's literally just, you're hitting the icon, the app on your phone, right? So she just hit that. And it logged her out, and she couldn't get logged back in. So she's telling me, and then I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. So I log in from my phone, I hit the app, and it opens up, and then immediately logs me out. And then when I called Raj and said, hey, have your wife go and check our Verve United pages. All of them were deleted.
Yep.
So all of our pages were deleted. We do have the Verve Forever page up, but neither one of us can control it now. So we had to create all new pages of everything.
Right.
We lost thousands of thousands of people. I was maxed out on my Facebook.
Right, because we were. I mean, this was a big project that everyone was coming together on. We were about ready to do a movie watch. We were going to do a bunch of shit, and it just like everything. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I thought like, oh, okay, I guess Tim's not doing it.
We really got punted, and I mean, we had to rebuild everything, and then 48 hours after I created my new page, which I was like, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Got talked back into it. Probably about a week afterwards, I did it. And then like 48 hours, less than 48 hours after it, they put me in Facebook jail. Banned me.
Oh, man.
I can see everything. I've been in there since, week after the election. I can see everything. I can scroll through. I just can't comment, can't post, can't share, can't do anything.
Yeah. Well, again, we're going to recock and make sure that we get the stuff. But we were planning what? We were planning a movie night, a watch party. I mean, a bunch of shit to talk about it. So I'm not going to be deterred from this shit.
Sawman told me, and he's the one who kind of helped me out. So Sawman had over 1 million followers on Instagram. The first time his page on Instagram got deleted. So he's had to recreate his personal page and Veterans for Child Rescue on both platforms at minimum 4 times each. The second time he created a new page, he was up to like 250,000 followers, and then he got booted. And now, his algorithms are so low that when he does post, he might get, out of 50,000 people following, he might get 5 people like it.
Yeah, that's why we didn't start up our Save Our Children stuff either. As soon as we started seeing something fishy with you and you announced it, that's when we're like, okay, I'm gonna see some of the Save Our Children stuff for now. And I think we just have to kind of like do a guerrilla campaign and just launch it, just do it. You know what I mean? Just throw it out there, because that seems to, because when we talk about politics stuff, or we talked about Save Our Children shit, Facebook, while we're broadcasting, would zuck us. They would just like literally stop us. Everything else is working. Yeah. So
it's like what? Like we weren't like literally saying, hey, so and so is a pedophile.
Exactly.
We weren't doing anything.
Exactly.
We're literally just like, hey, here's our T-shirts.
Yep.
This benefits Veterans for Child Rescue.
Yep.
Check out ContraLandMovie.com while you're at it. It's a free movie. Those type of posts.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And that was it. And then election night, everybody started getting banned and deleted and booted off Facebook and social media for that.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy.
So then,
it's not just that, a bunch of different things.
Yeah, I was about to say, did that at all? I mean, obviously that. Hey, I mean, just like we said, we're just going to brush it off and push. Just because you stopped us for a second, we're going to keep going, man. I mean, I'm just glad that.
Yeah, so we're going to actually, we're lucky enough. We have about 150,000 people have opted in for emails, so we've actually been okay on continue to push it out through our email approach. But when we go national TV with our other products at the beginning of 2021, we're hoping that we can get to a level that we can kind of backfill the Save Our Children campaign and everything else through that. So like even with Sawman, we want to put him into a commercial.
Right.
Proceeds from the commercial.
Right.
If you use this code, a certain amount of proceeds will benefit Veterans for Child Rescue. And through the commercial, actually touch on not only who Sawman is, but what he's doing with his foundation. Right. There's always other ways to win. It's just, it's just disheartening.
No, you're right. It was disheartening to us because we were like getting ready to, we were about ready to knock it out, and it just, hey, sometimes the bear gets you, and we'll just drive on. Like I said, we'll just
right.
So, but are you about? Are you about?
Door just came up.
Are you about ready to get on the bull or something?
Pretty close. Pretty close. I had to shut that door. The door got stuck open.
So then after what I'll tell you what is then we're gonna have to get together and get our brain buckets back together again to come back on to talk about it. I know it's a risky show to do, but we should have him on. We should do this.
No, I'll talk to Saul, man, and make a connection because obviously that's his sphere, right? That's his expertise, and he has all the stats and the home run yards that can tell you what's happened to him.
Right, exactly.
Of doing this and just the rear end beating that he's taken from it. And are you leaving? I'll catch up with you. Are you coming back though? Not tonight. I'll hit you later on. I appreciate you, bro. Sorry about that, guys. So
no, you're good.
So no, I'll get Salt. Like Saltman's the guy to have on the show to talk about because he, like I said, that's his expertise. But it's disheartening to think that this guy who's doing nothing more than just trying to bring awareness of child sex trafficking, has been booted off social media. This ain't nothing new for him. What a lot of other people are just now finding out, like, hey, what the hell's going on here? This is stuff he's been going through for years. So yeah, it's pretty disheartening to know that that's taking place.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad.
It's
kind of like, what's big tech so worried about?
Right, exactly. And that was my biggest thing. It's nothing. I always thought that the whole idea of some of these programs that some of the government individuals want to talk about are for kids to begin with. Now we're changing our minds or some shit. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of dirty, dark secrets that the elitists have, and Saltman knows a lot of them. But yeah, I think that's one reason behind it. Why they're more willing to just take it all off.
Right. Yep, exactly. Hey, so
without going into anything.
Yeah, I was about to say
suicide, so I don't want to go in too deep. So y'all find out I jumped off the bridge or something.
I was about to say, yeah. Tim Klund he wants to live and he wants to come back on. So just
yeah. I'm gonna leave all that stuff to Saul, man, because it's gonna take a whole army to take him down.
Yeah, I was about to say, because you definitely, just like I said, once we're done and we'll have Leanne and Amy just link back up with you to get all the details together, because
that'd be awesome.
I really wanted to do this movie. I really wanted to post this movie and do this film. I know it's done, so I want to get it up there and talk about it.
It's a phenomenal. I'd call it documentary movie. ContralandMovie.com. It's such an eye opener. So many people live with their head in the sand of thinking, hey, this can't happen in my neighborhood. This wouldn't happen to my kids. This just happens to other people, kids or poor areas. But you watch this movie and you're going, oh my gosh, okay, there's a lot of things I need to button down on my children or even what I'm doing.
Correct.
It's an eye opener.
Exactly.
Saltman and his team did a great job putting that movie together.
Exactly. All right. Well, hey, Tim, I know you got to get going. I know you got stuff going on, and you're but again, dude, I appreciate it again, brother, coming on here and
thank you guys so much for having me. And stay tuned. The Memorial Day Sunday softball game benefiting Codes of Honor.
Yes.
Here in Globe Life Park in Austin, Texas, May 15th.
May 15th. Yep. So I can't wait. It's gonna be with a great group, Folds of Honor. God, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait. So, all right, man. You have a good one.
Appreciate you guys, man. If I don't talk to you before Christmas, y'all have a great Christmas.
All right, you too, Tim. Thanks again.
All right, guys. God bless.
You too. Woo, man. That was he can talk. He can blah, 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 blah. I loved it. Hey, Tim had to get going. Tim had to get going because, he is on the move. And so, and real quick, just to give you guys some real quick synopsis, there are some things that we were supposed to have done over the summer that didn't happen, obviously, because of whatever. We'll just keep blaming the plague. We'll just say, plague drama. And some of it was release a movie. Some of it was we were going to do a film release. We were going to go play some softball. So now it's going to be one of those things to where, hey, now we're gonna start ramping things up and do it our own way. And yeah, we're just gonna do some workarounds and shit. That's just me. That's just and we can all hang out and go play. I'm gonna go play softball. I'm gonna go play softball with Toby Keith and Matthew McConaughey. You know what I mean? All right. Go hang out.
Yes, cause I and James Cannon did get to go see the game 2 years ago.
Yes, you did.
Got canceled or whatever this last time.
Yep.
There's so much going on.
Yeah. I got canceled the last time, but yeah, you, James Cannon. Yeah. And Cause, it was fun.
Yeah, let's go see it. Oh yeah, it was awesome.
It was awesome. So
it's just over the hill for me, and down the street from Cause.
Is that the Texas way of explaining directions on how you get somewhere?
Yeah,
okay.
it's over the hill for me. Down the street.
So because Tim was going to be on here for a little bit, we were going to go ahead and knock out some screenshot madness for about 35 40 minutes before we cut out, and we have some good. I already got some screenshots queued up. If you guys already know, Screenshot Madness is a Sardin's Time favorite that we do to highlight some of the texts that your soldiers, the WTF Nation, are getting from squad leaders, platoon sergeants, first sergeants, CSMs, and you know. I was just thinking, I don't remember ever seeing any officers doing any on Screenshot Madness. Have you seen any?
I know. No, I don't think we have. Y'all have them, officers. Send them in.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Tell your name.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah, send them into the main page. We will make sure that you will be accorded all the anonymity, of course. And I'm just like, man, this is some of the stuff that we get lately. This is all legit. Trust me. Everyone's like, oh, you guys are just faking doing it. Trust me. We do not have time to sit around and make up screenshots. These are all provided by you, the WTF Nation, and of course, it goes into the inbox. That's the only way we post. We don't go trolling the internet for this. Once it's submitted to the inbox and everything's taken care of as far as the ID, then that's when it posts up. Then it's hilarious. Hilarity ensues. So let's start off with this first screenshot. This first screenshot is I guess there's due to COVID mitigation. There's somebody that had an award done by Tex or promotion, as it was. Attention orders. Secretary of the Army has proposed special trust, fidelity, and professional excellency, professional excellence of PFC. Blah blah blah. Of course, the name was redacted. He is therefore promoted to the rank of specialist. Congrats, specialist. Blah blah blah. And then everyone's like, we're just like, damn. Y'all did I just send a promotion ceremony through text? So now, do you think with this, the way technology is, do you think leaders are now starting to lose a grip on their soldiers or the reality of being a leader and having that face-to-face communication? Is it important? Or do you...
I mean, it is, but this is COVID times, and you're not supposed to be having all these unnecessary they're not even promotions when it comes to, up to specialists. They're advancements. So, and the Secretary of the Army has nothing to do with it when it comes from, E1 through E4. So I'm okay with it. I'm sure those specialists probably is too.
But do you think, but do you think though?
He's like, just pay me.
Yeah, exactly. But do you think though that a lot of it is the reason why soldiers feel like their NCOs or their leadership are in touch with them is because of shit like that? Like, we have taken traditions of stuff that are not a big deal to do through text, and we just do it through fucking text. When we could just really, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Would we be better off just to do it? You kind of lose that value.
Yeah, I see your side. I really do.
Yeah, because
I also see, like, specialist Spanky. It's fucking cold outside. I would have appreciated the text.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. I can see both sides. I totally do. I understand honor and tradition and doing things the way we should do. But there's COVID, and it's 30 degrees outside. Thanks for the text. Yay.
Okay. All right. Well, the verdict is there. There you go. Okay.
Like I said, I completely see both sides.
All right. Well, that's understandable. No,
I would not have been mad with a text message. I'd have pinned that shit on and went to work at 9 o'clock.
You'd have been like, "See you."
With no PT.
Exactly. You're like, wait, I don't have to be here. You don't have to. No, Spank. You don't have to be here. Thank you, yoink.
Yeah, I'd have been okay with it.
I've been done with this.
I get both sides.
Right. Exactly. So everyone's laughing at this kid, and he's like, y'all dead ass promotion ceremony through text, and then he's like, y'all, and then. To make sure that everybody got the message was sent again. and the same soldier goes, twice, you did it twice. I want, somebody.
I was saying those are memories that guy will never have.
Right.
But he has completely different memories that we will never have.
That's true. No, you're right. That's a good point. I mean, I could see that. I could definitely see the fact that those are different kinds of memories. I don't know, man, but it was kind of cool to have your one of the leaders that you had respected pin your rank on your collar. Well, you don't get pinned anymore on your collar; you get just on their chest.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, shit like that. It's like a promotion.
Like, times are changing.
Right?
Times
yeah,
are changing.
I know. It just kind of like I was feeling nostalgic. I was like, man, because I remember every rank promotion. I think the only rank promotion I was deployed when I got promoted to master sergeant, so I was kind of like, I wasn't really. congrats, you're promoted. Yeah, why not? I really can't do anything right now.
Two different people. This is a PV2 getting promoted
Right.
to PFC.
Right, but to us, this is still a big. This is still a big deal, though. I mean, just it's kind of like it is kind of a big deal. But anyways,
okay, I will say this: when I was getting my automatic promotion to PV2, it was in Korea, my first duty station, and my squad leader at the time, I'm like, why do I gotta do this in front of formation? I'm like, everybody gets this. He's like, no, everybody doesn't. He's like, did everybody graduate from basic with you? I'm like, no. He says they didn't get it. So it is a big deal.
Ooh, yeah.
So he's like, not everybody makes it through their first next month in the Army. So he did instill that in me, okay, every promotion is a big deal. And so honest to God, I cannot remember his name. I can remember his face, but this was a very long time ago, and I have killed many brain cells since then. And forgive me, squad leader, that I cannot remember your name. That you were, I swear he was only my squad leader for 3 months because it's Korea.
Right. I was about to say because they squad leaders just cycle out and cycle through. You know what I mean?
Right. But he told me it is a big deal. You made it 6 months. Not everybody even makes it their first 6 months. So get up there and let me pin these little mosquito wings on you. So I did. Still, I have shit all to say. I don't even fucking know anybody here. I've been here 5 minutes, but I did. So I get that, but this is still funny.
No, it is funny. It is funny.
I'm not mad at him.
I just want to know who that Joe is.
I want to know, who's
right?
this chief?
No, I want to know who the Joe is that keeps saying twice. Y'all did it twice. The one is clowning.
That is probably some specialist.
Yeah, exactly. That is some funny shit. That right there is some specialist already going, man, y'all, what the hell, I think that's fucking funny as shit. Yeah. But at any rate, so the next screenshot is how we feel when it comes to smoking. And
wait, I'm sorry. I have to say one thing about this before you go on.
What's up?
Because in the comments on this, some guy put little emojis to make a little formation in it. I just fell out laughing at it.
Yeah. The comments, that's what make it, man. That's what makes it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because that'd have been me in the little text message making a little formation with all of my guys.
Right. Exactly.
Go on. I'm sorry.
Right. So what do you feel about smoking when it comes to taking smoke breaks and stuff like that? Do you think that because I mean we had designated smoke areas and stuff like that. What do you think about that when it comes to shit like that?
They're absolutely necessary, and of course they can be taken advantage of. I don't give a shit, but you get the best tea in the smoke areas too.
Yeah, that's right.
If you need to know anything that's going on in the soldier world, just go hang out in the smoke pit. You'll find out what's going on. If you need to know something,
well,
you'll know.
You'll know what's going on, or you can immediately shut a crowd up. You'll know if you're not liked. You'll know.
You'll know if they're talking about something they don't want their senior leaders to know about, and then you just send your little favorite soldier, go out in the smoke pit and find out what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to have a little favorite soldier. That's your spy.
Exactly. So usually that's what you.
Oh, I'm telling our.
I would say stop telling.
Stop
telling sergeant secrets. Damn it! Why are you talking about sergeants and stuff? What sergeants do of excellence? How we get our deets. But anyways, so at any rate, there usually some units when they have a smoking area. You're right. That's where you get the best tea. I really didn't care when I had soldiers to smoke. Sometimes I used to smoke as well. I'd smoke with my Joes, and if you walked out to the smoke pit and all of a sudden soldiers start putting their shit in the butt can and then taking off, then you're definitely not liked. Or you just walked out there to get some talk, or someone wanted to talk to you. That to me was like a good, kind of like a shade tree conversation area to have. So if somebody had an issue, you could talk about, hey, it's kind of like I don't want to say it's disarming, but it was one of those. It was I don't know, it was like a relaxing moment for that soldier to open up if they had any issues, and then. Just he want a cigarette.
Oh yeah, I'd even get hey, Sergeant Spanky, let's go smoke from soldiers that didn't smoke.
Right, exactly. That was like the code that there was some tea to be spilled, and it's not a big deal. But anyways, so I didn't have an issue with that. I mean, I didn't have issues. As a matter of fact, ask me, how come you always, you're always smoking, and how you can afford cigarettes? I go, all I have to do is turn around in my formation and say, who's got a cigarette? And I'll have a bunch of cigarettes thrown at me. So didn't have to worry about that. But, so smoke pits. where smoking areas are in the field, and breaks and what manage. This text went out. Refined guidance. Refined guidance is that the boys can go out and smoke, provided they don't do it in pairs and groups. Smoke alone, and wallow in your nicotine addicted shame, you scumbag.
All right. Okay, whoever the anti-smoking person is that sent this, I will say that they are probably going to get more time out of their soldiers, like if there's something that they need them to do, because there is going to be none of that key spilling or anything else or taking up their time. They're going to go out and smoke and get back to work. Okay, so are you on a timeline? Is there a mission that needs to be accomplished? Soldiers still need their nicotine fix. I'll allow it. But if you're just doing normal day-to-day shit that you have to do every day, and you're just waiting around for 16:30 to get here so you can have, like, go fuck off formation, then fuck this.
Right. Exactly. Again, I think it's funny. I think that when it comes to smoke pits, and I see,
and when it's refined,
and I
not
tell,
new.
Yeah, it's like, well, when we worked in the 3 shop, I mean, that was the big deal. You had to have smoke because we're the ones that are doing it. The reason why I supported, when soldiers like, oh, took a smoke break, it's not this, and all that, is that if soldiers were allowed to dip indoors, then I had no issue with soldiers going outside to smoke. Because you would see the Joe out there, you would see the Joe sitting in the office or sitting in the building, packing a massive dip that he's about ready to put in his mouth. And it just as much amount of time it is to smoke. There's no quick way to put a dip in your mouth.
No.
So nobody can even say it. Yeah.
There's no way to hide it.
There's no way to hide it when you got the chaw hanging from the bottom of your lip, and you're spitting in a cup and spitting in a jar or spitting in a Coke bottle. I don't feel sorry for the people who are like, well, you can't, too many smokers, and they're sitting there going, in a dip cup, and then in a dip cup. I could not stand people who left dip cups everywhere. That was
no, I'll fight you.
Yeah, that's some that. It's just
see that, and then when vaping became a thing, like me, it's like, oh well, I can just go do this in the bathroom quick because it's like 30 below outside.
Right,
and
exactly.
it smells just like my Bath and Body Works spray in the bathroom. Like just like
there's
on it like once, twice.
Exactly.
No one's gonna know.
No one's gonna. You know what? I'll be honest.
Spray some Bath and Body Works.
I'm gonna reveal some secrets. Have I ever smoked in a government building because it was too cold?
Oh,
yes.
Yes. I have.
Who has not?
I have smoked in a government hospital.
Oh.
It was too cold.
Oh, damn.
Done that too. Yeah.
Oh shit. Gary brings up a good point. Smoke pits of water fountains. Everything comes out.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, right. It's the statute of limitations.
What are you gonna do? Recall me? UCMJ me over?
Yeah.
Smoking?
We smoked in the building. Damn it! As a matter of fact, when people will come by and say, you're not supposed to be smoking in there, I'd be like, huh? I'd be like, huh? What?
I didn't do it. What are you talking about? I just stink. I love vaping.
Exactly. Okay. It's someone dip in church. He narcissist.
God doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of that, in the Al Assad community right now, they closed the PX, right? They closed the PX down, and so a black market has been created in Al Assad, and because of the PX closing down, people are like jonesing for cigarettes, right? So this group was set up, and somebody let somebody in, and what's funny is that it's posted on the Al Assad community board. Who's selling cigarettes? And it's like, find some locals that they usually do sometimes, and then a local pops into the chat. How can I help you? How y'all supposed to be like keeping that shit clean and stuff like that? He says, how can I help you? I'm local.
I'd have been all over that. Okay.
Oh man.
Picture this. like Sicily, 1901. No, I'm kidding. But in Kuwait in 2001, like right after 9/11, when like a shit ton of fucking soldiers got deployed to Kuwait because who knows what the fuck's going on, right? like we might go somewhere we don't know. Are we going to attack Iraq? Are we going to attack Afghanistan? Fuck it, are we going to Iran? Who knows? like, so we got 1 million people in Kuwait for no fucking reason, and we're living in warehouses. And so everywhere, all the AP's places are selling out of cigarettes. And I have people, like, because I have people sending them to me from the States, and I have a steady supply coming in. I have people, like, offer me, like, $20 for one cigarette. And I'm telling people to go fuck themselves because I have money in the bank, and I don't know when I'm getting more cigarettes. But I could have made a killing. But, you know, I have an addiction at the time, and they're like literally $20 for one cigarette. I just look at them like, no. I have money, but I don't know what I'm getting.
Right. What was funny is that the text continues and it says DM me, and another one goes, have some. I have, DM me. So all these Iraqis, they're all Iraqi locals. They're all popping up on the net going, I have cigarettes if you want cigarettes. And again, like Jeff Goldblum says in Jurassic Park, that's it. Life finds a way. You need some smokes. I'll get you some smokes. And but I just thought it was funny that all of a sudden the guy's like, hey, I'm Joe and I need a cigarette, and a local just pops in, and we have the unredacted chat, and it's fucking hilarious. But
I believe it.
Only because we're trying. It was funny is because I was like, we should have just left. You should just let the screenshot with a normal name and then left the squiggle names up there, because it was just
nobody
like
knows what the
nobody knows.
Like we're gonna go find the squiggle names.
Yeah, I can't find one squiggle. So that's why it's funny is that it says, hey, who's selling cigarettes, and it says you locals usually do it, and all of a sudden Squiggles pops up. How can I help you? I'm local. I just
give me the cigarettes.
Exactly.
I know, and again, going back to 2001.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Even when I started to get low on cigarettes, the guys that worked in the laundry rooms and cleaned the bathrooms and stuff, you hand them $20 bills and they come back with a shit ton of cigarettes.
Right, you just say, I want smokes. What do you, Marlboro? Yes, Marlboro. Want fucking Marlboro. Want Marlboro Rep, or you want Marlboro Hundreds? Yeah. You want Marlboro Gold? No, give me blend 27s, because
and they're probably bringing back $5 worth of cigarettes. I don't care. Here's $20.
Right. I had a smuggle Marlboro blend. That was my preferred smokes. Stronger than Reds. I mean, even Germans would be like, "Oh my God, you can't freaking smoke these shits." But they're strong cigarettes. Marlboro blend number 27s. Yeah. And I had a smuggle. I had family. Hey, what do you want? Don't you got cigarettes over there? My dad was like, "Don't you got fucking smokes over there already?" I'm like, no, I need some 27s. And so my dad used to send me like boxes of the shit. And, my family, so the Iraqis were like I would go, what is this? And they'd come back like, Mister, give me a couple of cigarettes. I'm like, no, these are mine. They're better than Reds. I know they're better than Red. That's why I got them. We wouldn't trade. These guys were trading me like cartons of cigarette, a carton of cigarette for 2 boxes of normal, packs of.
Right.
27s, because they loved it. They were like really jonesing on that shit. Because once you smoke 27, it's like drinking coffee Bustelo. Once you drink coffee Bustelo, everything tastes like ass. It tastes like ass water. You don't even want to drink it anymore. But anyway, so that, I just thought that was funny because, and I wish again.
I'm gonna join this.
Exactly. So I just wanted to see the. We should at least leave the squiggles, and I'm like, well, because we do have people who could speak squiggles. And I was like, man, that's true. Okay, that'd have been funny as shit. But
at least half the squiggles.
Yeah,
so we know it's from a squiggle.
Yeah, exactly. At least we know it was a squiggle enthusiast. That had it on there. Okay, so the next one's pretty messed up. And this is, we're joking around. We talk about some of the screenshot that leaders send out to their soldiers. But we are now seeing that due to the fact that people are freaking out about COVID and COVID mitigation. I know Chris was on the chats earlier. And this was going to be covered anyways, but I'll tell him, I'll DM him, I'll let him know, hey, we're talking about this stuff. But leaders are not, look, you're not a doctor. You're not a lawyer. You're not a cop. You're nothing like that. You can't advise soldiers to do something that's, again, like if especially during the COVID drama, if a soldier is sick and not feeling sick, it isn't up to you to decide that. You are not given the power. There is no power vested upon you when you got, buck sergeant stripes or staff sergeant stripes, sergeant first class stripes,
You're just not that. There are policies and stuff that are written there for a reason. Especially, you would think after the COVID drama, individuals would be a little bit more, I don't say lenient, but understanding. How do I say that? There you go.
By the power invested in me, I now pronounce you man and wife. That doesn't come with it.
No, it does not.
No. Okay, all right.
No, exactly.
I just make sure I knew my powers.
Well, I mean, some sergeants do have some powers, but when it comes to different powers, but they don't command shit. Especially when it comes to procedures that, because think about it. What if you provide bad, quote unquote, medical advice, and that soldier dies? Then what?
Wouldn't want that on my conscience.
Yeah, exactly, because
I'm not delivering babies or anything like that. No, calling in next.
Well,
call the midwife.
Well, that's exactly. That's why you look at this right here. The next screenshot's going to be from a team leader. It's from a new rule. It's from new rule. Since team leaders and squad leaders not plan around training when it comes to scheduling appointments, soldiers will now go through me to schedule appointments. I will approve the appointment time and date and time. If a soldier schedules on one of their own without my approval, team leaders and squad leaders will owe me. This is not a joke in any way, shape, or form. Man, you can eat these. You can both of these. You can.
I have had leaders like this.
I don't, because this right here, look. That's why when we get sent shit and people say, hey, this didn't happen, there's a lot of stuff that's been on WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments that has allowed individuals to have various issues and stuff cleared because of the text messages that have been posted by us. A screenshot man is, hey, just the way it happens. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you say that that you are going through when it's not even your lane, especially when you got guys like that are med boarding, guys that are ETSing, guys that are clearing the PCS, getting ready to go to a school. There are appointments that are going to come up that you have no freaking idea what they're for, nor are they in your lane to interfere. This is
I promise y'all.
Not a joke anyway.
Tell your doctor, like when they say you have to follow up with me, I have to ask my platoon sergeant first. He has to approve this. Just tell your doctor that. Just tell your doctor.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly this was me. Like this was me as a staff sergeant, even Staff Sergeant Spanky. I'm like, I was seeing physical therapy, and I had to go twice a week, right? And I had to, I told my physical therapist, who was a full bird colonel, by the way, that was signing off on my profiles and everything. I was like, oh yeah, I got to get this approved through my commander, or my platoon sergeant. He's like, oh, really? He's like, what's your brigade commander's name? He said, give me a moment. I'm like, oh, I don't know if you could hear me pretending to punch numbers. It took one phone call. Okay, you don't need to do that no more. Here's your appointments for the next 6 weeks. And by the time that 6 weeks was over, guess who was not on profile no more? But if I would not have made those appointments, I'd have been probably on profile for months.
I was about to say, well, not to the fact that there's also reasons where you can, you got to get healed up. You got to get healed up for some shit. There has to be some.
If the sergeant had his way, I'd have been oh no, you got to be at the motor pool because you don't have a vehicle, and neither do any of your soldiers. But if you're not standing here in formation, the world's going to come to an end.
Right.
Shit like that.
Exactly. Well, again, I'm not gonna at all fucking. I would not, especially when it comes to something like that. There has been some medical issues that I've had. I've known individuals that have had medical issues that I know for a fact, had Big Sarge been in there, had I not had been the rank that I was, I probably would. I would probably not have been able to get it. I probably would have been. Well, shit. Well, I will say I did die a couple times, but we'd be dead.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, my biggest thing is that I don't get why leaders think they have that power. Like I said, this is not a joke in any way, shape, or form. Hey, troop. And it reminds me of the freaking Murphy comment. Hey, troop. You're going to approve. It's just like, even Cavman isn't stupid as it. We haven't had Cavman on the show for a while, but even Cavman isn't this dumb to do this Big Sarge shit.
No, it's not, because, okay, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to make an appointment, your platoon's going to say you're not allowed to go.
Right.
Okay, so then you show up on the no-show roster. That doesn't go okay, this doesn't come straight from the hospital, down to your platoon sergeant.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
not the way that happens.
Exactly. Hey,
you're in the sergeant major's office. Well,
exactly. He said I couldn't go to the emergency room because bleeding out.
Right. I didn't get his approval because my dad said no.
Right. Exactly. So
my
that
mom said it was okay, but my dad said no.
right. So on top of that, then I will add another screenshot that'll make you laugh. This is just pisses me off again. This next one here. So we can't just go to sick call anymore. So you won't have to do PT. Take it very light, then make an appointment.
So please come to PT. Give me all your flus and your COVIDs and whatever it is that's making you shit your pants during PT while you're taking it light, and make an appointment.
Right.
So get everybody else sick first. Ugh. What is the fucking point of sick call?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I hate the fact that you have to go to sick call, that you can't just call and make an appointment. Like, you can call your concern. I'm sick. I'm making an appointment. Because you still got to go in, god awful early and just be sitting there for hours dying with everybody else.
No, you. Well,
I just want to fight this.
What if I'm saying what?
Fucking one of y'all today.
Well, what if you have an injury, right? What if you have an injury and they tell you to take it very light?
Okay, well, my leg is broken, so I guess I'm crawling around on one leg and taking it light and making an appointment because I broke my leg on the way to PT. Or I don't know. Oh, I slammed my elbow in the car and it's bleeding profusely. But my appointment's not till 10, so I'm just going to walk. Or I guess I can still run.
Right.
My elbow, and I don't need that to run.
Hey, Sergeant.
Fuck it. You can still run. Do some side hops with one arm.
Hey, Sergeant, you need to make an appointment for a sick call. You need to take it light. Why? What's happening? And then punch him in the face and break his nose. That's why. You got to go fix your nose, Sergeant. You better make an appointment. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's just my biggest point is that this whole freaking bullshit of leaders taking it upon themselves to do this stuff, and no one's stopping them. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of like, what?
Okay, so I understand this when it comes to like chronic issues that are not urgent care issues. Like sick calls should just be for urgent care issues that need to be seen like same day immediately. Not like my shoulder's been bothering me for 3 weeks and I need to go sick call this morning.
Right.
All right. That is the kind of stuff that I see that this is probably aimed at. And yes, no, you shouldn't have to go to sick call that morning for that. Sick call should only be for chronic issues urgent care issues that need to be seen first thing that morning, like you are sick.
Yeah, there's something that you need to get. Yeah, that you need to get taken care of that time. You know what I mean? That you need to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Sick call should not be for my knee hurts or my elbow hurts or my shoulder's been bothering me for 3 months. Those are all the things that PA should be making appointments for. So I understand if that's where this is coming from, but it should not be like you can't go to sick call. Yeah, like sick call should be like, I woke up throwing up this morning, or I woke up with, a blinding headache, or I woke up shitting my pants, or whatever it is.
Exactly.
It's something that's stopping you from working and doing PT. That's what only thing you should be going to sick call for.
Right. I mean,
the rest of it should be like making an appointment during that day. Even if it's the same day appointment. Like my shoulder really hurts. But I'm not going to die if I don't get seen until 10 o'clock
right.
today.
But I'm also you're not going to make me look like an idiot and have been doing overhead claps.
Right, exactly.
Because
and that's where like PT should be light. Like, okay, yeah, you're going to come in for PT because you're not dying.
Right.
But I'm not going to make you like, go walk around the quad and I'll see you later.
Right. Exactly. My biggest thing is that I go back to the authority thing. I really do. I go back to the authority thing. I go back where NCOs do not have authority to do that, or say to the you have to do. I don't know. There must be something. There must a new phenomenon happening or some shit. I don't know. The big sergeantness is happening pretty quick. I mean, we had a pretty good run. I mean, it was a good while before the big sergeantness really started happening out. But now just big sergeants just flying out of everywhere.
Well, see, and I think that's where this probably got translated wrong to. Squad leader. Like squad leader gets this from staff sergeant, like big sarge, and it didn't translate correctly. So we can't just go to sick call. Probably meant Like, hey, you with your chronic shoulder problem can't go to sick call.
Right. Exactly.
You with your exploding diarrhea, you can go to sick call at 6:30.
Matter of fact, I don't even want you here if you're having exploding diarrhea. I don't want you to crap all over the place.
Like you text me and you go to sick call.
I've had some soldiers like that had, that it got so bad to where they
probably got lost in translation.
Right.
To whoever this text message.
So unless you're blowing an O-ring out, you come do PT. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Like those are the ones that you go at let the people that are fucking sick go at 6:30.
Right.
So they're not in there waiting around or getting anybody else sick. Like getting the shoulder injury guy sick,
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So I see where you guys with chronic issues, you're not allowed to go to sick call at 6:30. I can see that being like, hey, fine. You guys come in at 9 o'clock, make a fucking appointment. I get it. Your shit's bothering you. You need to be seen. You do not need to be seen at 6:30 because, yes, you can go to formation and just say, hey, squad leader.
Exactly.
Specialist. I'm hurting. I need to make an appointment.
Your shoulder's hurting, but we got a specialist med lab holding his ass because he's crapping all over the place.
Or he's going to throw up on you.
Or he's going to chuck on you.
Or he'll throw up on you while you're waiting for your shoulder.
Right.
Chronosyphilitis aid from him at 6:30.
And then he's going
to go in at 9 and make an appointment.
Then he's going to blast you with diarrhea because he made him do overhead claps in front of him.
Right. So I can see where they're coming from with that, and I'm okay with that. They can wait till 9 with the shoulder hurts.
Oh man. So. Well, okay, all right, I can see that. So that concludes the screenshot madness. I know that was a good run. We again, these are real screenshots that we get submitted to the inbox. If you have a screenshot, make sure that you send it to the inbox at U.S. Army WTF Moments on Facebook, and not to WTF Nation Radio because we'll just end up saying go send it to the main page. But send it to them, and of course we'll be able to look at it and all that stuff. Give us a backstory because sometimes there'll be a screenshot that has no context. And then once we see it, that's usually what the caption will be displayed on top of the post. That's why we knew there was a cigarette shortage and there was a black market, and Mr. Squiggles just showed up and said he's got cigarettes. So they just make sure. If you guys have any Army Navy posts, anything go Army beat Navy posts or something like that your unit's doing, or they're doing some Gucci videos for it, that they're like shit talking the Navy, send them to, if you have videos. Send them to videos@armywtfmoments.com, videos@armywtfmoments.com, or if you got any pictures or something like that, then go ahead and send them to the inbox on the Facebook page for U.S. Army WTF Moments, because that Army Navy game, the squidlets and the cadets are going to be playing. So,
and you should video them horizontally, right? Like a long way.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't take the pictures with potatoes.
Yeah, don't take the pictures with potatoes. But my biggest thing is that a lot of individuals like to say, "Oh, stupid cadets," and I'm like, look, these are.
And I say TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. So somebody sent me some TikToks earlier, and they're freaking hilarious. Even though I don't care about TikTok or doesn't, I'm not interested. I always end up getting spammed by. I know that if I have not,
me.
Exactly. I was just about ready to say. I know if I have. That's how Spanky communicates with me for some stuff. She'll drop a TikTok in, and then she'll know I'll react, and I'll say, "Damn it." But at any rate, but no, these are your future leaders. I don't give a shit about the squids. They have their own people to worry about. They have their own Joes and they have their own commanders, but these are our future leaders. So these NCOs are these officers are going to be mentored by us NCOs, and so there you go. You got to kind of you got to kind of see it like that. So they're almost like the family. So you kind of think about the Army. It's the United States Army.
Our children.
Yeah, they're all our children. So even in a family, we even have the goofy ones. So that's why we celebrate and cheer on our little cadets doing their little cadet things of excellence, and let them do it. They just support them. And also sometimes there are some organizations give you like the day off or some shit. And there's some units. Wasn't there a unit like last year that did that? That gave one of their units. I think it was a commander who was a West Pointer, big West Pointer, and he was like, yeah.
Oh.
And
I'm sure, because that's his boys.
Yeah, exactly. This is boy. So he was like, he's like, you just go ahead and take the day off, and everyone was like, clutching pearls and shit, because he was like, because he was gonna go, he was gonna go get tanked with his fellow cadets and all that stuff. So again, these are your leaders, U.S. NCOs. You got to mentor them. These are, like I said, we're one big family. We love all of our family, even the goofy ones. So make sure that you support your children's. So again, talk to your unit. Say, hey, ICE on WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments said that any videos that we send are going to get put to the front of the line on U.S. Army WTF Moments videos page, and it's going to get shared onto the main page, so we can like shit talk the Navy. And there you go. So that's easy shit. I don't know how hard it is. Send the pics. Send the pics to the inbox on the Facebook page of U.S. Army WTF Moments. It'll get front loaded. Anything that has to do with Army Navy stuff. What's the game, anyways? Isn't that like 12th or something like that? Isn't that when the game is?
Am I supposed to be keeping track of that?
I'm just trying to remember. No, I think, yeah. It's like, hey, hang on. Let me beat the keys right quick. Hang on. Army Navy game 2020 is going to be when is now? I got a shitload of freaking pictures and stuff.
Wikipedia came up first.
Wikipedia came up first.
And they want $275 from me.
They want. Are they asking for more donations again? If you, only your donations will be able to help keep us going. Just when is it? Just when is the game?
It is the 12th. Saturday the 12th.
Saturday the 12th. So why the hell are commanders wanting to give people days off? Probably because it was on a Sunday, I think.
And it said, okay, all right, this is what it says: limited in-person attendance.
So it's the Rona. That's why. This is Rona of excellence, and so it's just one of those things. I cannot. Again, we need to get our heads wrapped around this COVID shit. Either we're doing it or we're not. Because if you're gonna make a bunch of cadets show up to play football, but you can't have like graduations or something like that, or family days or whatever, then you can do the fucking. I don't know. It's the military. I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted. I support the mask stuff. I support all this. Hey, look, whatever. But we have to stick to a guidance. We're all over the fucking map when it comes to this shit. When it comes to how we're dealing with COVID right now, everyone's talking about fight the virus and all this other stuff. We're like, yeah, fight the virus. Oh, we have to keep mitigation and we have to contact tracing and yeah. Right, got it, cool, roger that. 3 bags full. Yes, fight the virus. And then next thing you know, you see units doing shit that they were not supposed to be doing to fight the virus. Stop taking APFTs. How about that? You can start with that one. You can really start with that one.
Oh, they unveiled their uniforms or something too. I guess that's a little.
Yeah, they did some crazy shit like that. My point being is that
their little gloves. Sorry.
Yeah. If we are doing COVID mitigations, let's do it right and completely. Don't because of some West Point tradition make all the cadets go watch football, and you're gonna have a mask up, and they're all gonna be like huddled together and shit. Because you're gonna.
I don't know. Are they allowed to? Are they gonna be allowed to go watch like that?
I'm gonna tell you what.
Even like, okay, so like I have a kid that's in band. They're not allowed to like pack the stadiums because Friday Night Lights, the big thing here in Texas. They're not allowed to pack the stadiums right now anymore. They got to keep distance, and like the people that are sitting together have to be families. So I don't know. Like I guess we'll see. Like when they show the stands, like even if they allow anybody in there. But I mean, if these kids are going to school together, what's the difference with them sitting in a football stadium together?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
how close are they allowed to be in the class?
My point being is that's where I keep going back to the confusion. Either we're going to fight it or not. Either we're going to do this thing whole right. Either no one's going to wear a fucking mask and just do whatever, or we're going to actually enforce the COVID fragos.
Well, no, but I can see those kids. Well, no, I say kids, but those cadets at West Point, if they're like locked down and shit there, like I don't know, are they? Then what's the difference? Like they're not allowed like contact with anybody else. If they're all like just they're doing West Point things, then fine. They're not like allowed to go anywhere. I don't know like what the rules are. Right. Especially with the whole COVID thing, like then maybe that's fine.
Right. Well,
their instructors are allowed to go in and out though. So do they
right. That's what I'm saying. They just like the whole. It's just I don't know. It just seems like it's a fucking double. It seems like it is. It's not a seam. It is a double standard. if anything else, everyone made a big deal about this is the 121st rivalry meeting, and the Army is honoring the 25th Infantry Division, while the Navy is celebrating 175 years. So if you go onto all their websites and social media, you'll see their new baller ass uniforms, and you'll see them showing off their new stuff. The Army obviously is an Army thing, so you're probably gonna see Army colors with Army things on the Army field. that's usually that's the Army things. That's the Army things. And I get 25th ID. We just had the 25th Infantry Division show up to give us a little update from their GRTC rotation with Command Sergeant Major Billy Piliot. So that's pretty cool. But
I wonder if any of those cadets know who he is.
Yeah, really, exactly. My biggest thing is that, look, again, keep going back to what I'm saying. Well, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares about West Point? Okay, well, who's your favorite?
I like watching the Army Navy games.
Yeah,
I'm not a big sports person. You know that,
right?
I fuck with Flash all the time.
Right. But my biggest thing, it's the Army Navy game. It's because I was in the Army, because we retired from the Army. It's the Army. It is the Army's team. It is the Army's football team. Nobody makes fun of you, not you, Spanky, but nobody makes fun of you when you like your Clemson team. Nobody makes fun.
Not me.
Nobody makes. Well, maybe people.
I don't even know. Like Clemson's like some Alabama thing.
I was about to say maybe people do make fun of Clemson fans, but maybe. But nobody says anything about. You know what I mean? Did you even go to Clemson? No. Then why do you support the team? Or did you even go to University of Texas in Austin? No. Then why do you say hook 'em horns? You know what I mean? So there's individuals that they support those teams, but they never went to those colleges. Why? Because it's probably a home connection. It's probably a familial connection. Mm-hmm. So that's the same fucking thing. Support the Army team, by the way. Go Army, beat Navy. There you go. Brought to you by the United States Military Academy.
Why does his helmet look like that Mandalorian dude, the Army guy?
Done it? I was about to say, it looks like his Beskar steel. It looks like it's about ready to. This is the way.
Where's the Baby Yoda?
I don't see no Baby Yoda. You don't see no Grogu.
You see then we throw on him. He's a football. Sorry.
Yeah, he is a football. There was some tragedy. There was some drama on a U.S. Space Force at WTF moment. It's not drama, but Buzz showed me some of the comments. Apparently on the U.S. Space Force at WTF moment page, there was a meme on there that had Anakin. It was portraying Anakin Skywalker kissing Grogu on the head, and saying this is why I didn't kill you, because you're nice, because of Order 66. So the legend is right now. I don't want to go into the CQ territory, but the legend is that Grogu is Baby Yoda. That's his name. All right. So everyone's like clutching pearls right now, going, "Oh my god!" So this one guy goes, "Actually, this is why the fan base is all." And Buzz jumped in there and jumped in his shit, and I was like, "Oh shit, here we fucking go." Fucking, because he's a smart ass dude. I'm like, he's not a smart ass. He's just like what? He's a space dude. So space people are a little bit more callous than they don't in space. Nobody can hear your feelings, I guess. I don't know. But this fan got the ass. He's like, I never seen a show with so much spoilers given out, and everyone was like jumping on this dude. It's like, I remember how when we were talking about Game of Thrones, and I was telling you I had somebody that I was watching Game of Thrones with, and I was like, not and whatever. And I was like thinking, no big deal, right? Well, fucking, when you were telling me, even though the TV show had been out already in the Game of Thrones series, so fucking Buzz goes in there and is like, expect him to wait until the scene's over. How about you watch the show when it comes out like everybody else?
Right?
You expect everyone
you get, like,
that you expect
24-hour
right?
ride,
Exactly. He's like,
and that's not even a thing anymore.
Right. He's like, how about you watch the show when it, he's like, you expect everyone to sit around and wait for you to watch all of them at once? Hit us up when you find the spoiler law. And the guy commented back and says, well, just some shows have worse fan bases. He's like, well, let us know when you find the fan base rule book too. And then he's just like, God, the guy was just whining, saying that people should keep spoilers until all the episodes are out so everyone can binge watch them together. That's not how it works.
No, that's not how
it works. And so then Buzz
Buzz
fucking savaged his ass, and he goes,
He's like, well, you know, some details are in Star Wars canon.
I'm gonna get on there and just go tell him to fuck himself.
Yeah, exactly. And then he drops his one hint. He's like, okay, we'll give you a hint then, just between us. Grand Admiral Thrawn's skin is blue, and everyone's like, whoa.
I'm like, totally doing it before I go to bed. I'm gonna go find this thread.
Yeah, it's the one. Yeah, it's the one with it's got the Joker meme on there. Okay. But it
do it before I go to bed.
Yeah, it's just funny because I was just like, God damn! It was a funny meme.
And I'm gonna tell him Ned Stark dies.
You can tell him the Death Star blows up or something. There's a new. Yeah. You just say some character blows up. Fucking hilarious, man. I just think that people get real stupid about this shit, and I'm just like, oh. So real quick, speaking of which, Space Force Buzz wanted me to tell you guys that they're thinking about if you are part of the U.S. Space Command or the United States Space Force, I guess they're going to be doing a recruiting drive. You know how the main page has their hiring thing? I guess they're going to do the same thing for their page for the United States of Space. I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna do. So they've been asking. They're gonna ask. Yeah, I think I just might just shoot the shit, see what's up. No, they've been asking about doing. So they're gonna have like Space Force radio, like it's like Space Force dude doing like it's gonna be like WTF Space Nation radio or some shit. I don't know what they're gonna do. They're planning in their little lab and shit. Little fucking geeks. I just think it's funny. I just thought it was funny. The guy was like, well, maybe we should wait until it comes out so everybody can see it. Don't spoil it. God, dude, really? There are people out there that are like that? Fuck. Well, actually, okay, neckbeard. No, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't talk about a fan like that. But fans got to realize when it comes out and it's already been a week out, it's Grogu is his name.
Like 24 hours.
Yeah,
that's what you get.
Well,
is it? I say you don't even get that no more.
Should you really? But should you really?
Like when like half the army was deployed, I'd give you 24 hours. Give you time to do your illegal downloading and this, that, or whatever. But yeah, no.
Right. Exactly. How much stuff did you turn in? How many downloaded videos and shit and Haji videos? We call them Haji videos, so everyone's gonna get mad because I said Haji. That's what everybody called them.
But the last time I was overseas, you know, in 2015, when I was just in Kuwait in AJ, and I was in a signal company, and I had way crazy smart soldiers. And this was for Game of Thrones, too, right. Like, you know, when it was still really good. And, like, within the hour of it airing on HBO, I had a soldier with a thumb drive. Here you go.
Right.
You know, they knew they were way smarter than me. Like, they already had set my laptop up with VPNs and had, like, my Netflix set up in Germany and all this. And
right, you know, exactly. But my biggest thing was that it was just like... Oh my God, come on. We're really getting mad over a fictional character that everybody knows is Baby Yoda. I mean, again, I just think it's stupid. When they were like, hey, there might be some drama on the space page, I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then I read it, and I was like, oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. That's no, you're good. That's okay. It's all right to talk about it. But again, once they have their hiring freeze, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to help them out because the Space Force people. It's kind of weird because they're part of the Air Force, but they're not. But they're some weird individuals. I mean, they're funny as shit. Don't get me wrong. There's some great guys in there. But yeah, they're gonna build their space stuff up. They got some cool videos and memes in there. Anything that has to do with Star Wars or Star Trek, they worship the ground that Elon Musk walks on. They love Elon. But anyways. Shit. Well, damn, I was gonna do some housekeeping. We've been blabbing.
Get the lemon pledge.
Yeah, get the pledge out. So real quick, we just had a real quick stop by guest, Tim Klund, TK, who is also the CEO of Verve Forever. Again, go on Verve Forever. You'll see the link right there that's posted on the Facebook page for the CBD stuff. I know we didn't really get into that because I know this slot for Sergeant's Time is generally not for that type of content. However, I know we have individuals that are ETSing from the military and going through ACAP and going through their processing that probably want to check it out and then get on there. And like you said, he's got some deals through the Verve Ambassador program. He's got some discounts also if you're a vet. So check out the Facebook page and then give him a chat and all this other stuff too. Stop Whining. That book you got to read the book. If you can go back, just dig on this page right here. Search Tim Klund or TK or Tactical 16, and you'll see a lot of the podcasts and videos that we've done with him on here and discussing that too. We got to do that baseball. I was so pissed off when that shit got moved. That whole fucking baseball shit. I was looking forward to. I just wanted to sit there and go, all right, in front of Matthew McConaughey and see if that bothered him. Because I'm pretty sure,
right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like you do something like that, you're known for that. I wonder if he gets mad about it. I wonder if he's like, God damn, if I hear another right, I'm gonna be pissed. You know, is he gonna get? He's like, I don't think, you should shut up. You know, he's gonna get mad at me.
I would pay him to say that.
You what? Tell me to shut up?
Yeah.
But again, I would just and then Toby Keith. I hang out with Toby Keith. And then again, it's for a good cause, for Folds of Honor. I'm glad we linked up with them. To do that stuff. That was going to happen this year, but of course didn't happen due to the plague. So next May. But again, go on his page, go on the Facebook page, go on the link. Tactical 16 Publishing as well. Go on that, and you'll see definitely all that stuff right there. So next week, I think the only guest we have after that will be Tori Valdenson. He's going to be coming on from Dogs to Dog Tags. Talking about the civilian military dog training experience and his passion for training both service dogs and dog handlers for service. This is going to be cool. That's going to be awesome. And don't forget, we also have our continuing campaign with Honey, with U.S. Army WTF Moments, WTF Nation Radio, All Warrior Network. We are the mighty. Awesome shit, my drill sergeant said, have teamed up with Honey to raise money for Team Rubicon. And it's a new shopping tool that searches the internet for the best deals to help you save money. Each of those downloads will be donating $1 to Team Rubicon. It's a 501 Charlie that utilizes the skills and experience of military veterans with first responders to rapidly deploy emergency response teams. Founded in 2010, Team Rubicon has deployed across the United States and around the world to provide immediate relief to those impacted by disasters and humanitarian crises. The campaign is going to continue until 31 December. And then we'll probably do another thing, probably do another drive with another organization too. It's for a good cause. And again, you'll see it. The links and stuff like that are going to be posted on the show, are going to be posted after the show. But I think that's it. You got anything for me, Spanky? You got
Oh no, but definitely download the Honey because you so save money when you're shopping for Christmas.
I was about to say, what's your been take on Honey so far? I've had some other friends look at it too.
I got 2 pairs of shoes for $60 that should have been like $130. So
wow.
Hey, it's worth it.
Oh, so you did get a good deal there.
It just finds all the discount codes for you. You know how you get like your emails? It'll say, "Hey, use like cyber deals."
Right.
Something. And you forget about that. Like you think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I know I had a coupon for this or a coupon for that. So if you download it, it just remembers all that for you.
I did. I did.
It just runs back there.
I got a couple of good deals on some radio equipment for the upgrade of the studio that I'm doing. And once that's done, then I got some gear, for some cheaps for bigly cheaply. So yeah, it's definitely not.
And it doesn't matter what you're shopping for.
Right.
It's like whatever you normally shop for. If you have coupon codes out there or they have them, Honey finds them for you.
Right. Exactly.
So and it just automatically applies it. So you just like I said, if you click on our link, then everybody gets the benefit from it, and then you definitely save money. And that's all you have to do is just click on our link and download the Honey thing.
Yep, exactly. The Honey thing.
I'm such a good salesperson.
I'm about to say you're selling it pretty good. Holy shit.
Just fucking do it.
Just fucking do it for a good cause, damn it. Now. But anyways, so guys, gals, thank you for joining us tonight. And again, thank you Tim Klund. And again, the Save Our Children campaign, we're just going to guerrilla campaign it. So if all of a sudden you see a movie about ready to play, we're going to do 2 movies that on the campaign that we were working with that we're going to be released. And now we have decided to say, screw it. We're going to release them. Once we get the films up, we will post it on probably a Wednesday. Wednesday, you'll see something come up, and you'll see it'll be like WTF Nation Goes to the Movies, talking about child trafficking and all that stuff. So it's not gonna be a fucking, it's gonna be some serious shit. There's gonna be 2 films that are gonna be posted up. Something we were working on behind the scenes, and I think all of us working on the project are decided to say, screw it, we're just gonna go ahead and go for broke and see what gets deleted. So the worst thing that can happen is the post will get deleted. The worst thing that can happen is the post will get deleted. So I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. But anyways, so thank you again for.
I'm sure we'll all survive.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be all right. Again, y'all, thank you for joining us, and y'all have a good night. Shots. You.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now they say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the Hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planets of America. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. We'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. The critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space Force.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
What's up, knuckleheads?
Hey guys, this is Ken Ramos.
Hello, military community.
What's up, Warriors? I'm Greg.
2020 has been a crazy year.
But along with our friends at Honey and Team Rubicon,
we can help you end it on a high note.
Honey is a free shopping tool that can automatically apply discounts when you shop online.
And Team Rubicon is a veteran-led nonprofit that provides aid to those hit hardest by the pandemic, hurricanes, and other disasters of 2020.
So to support Team Rubicon's amazing disaster relief work,
Honey is donating $1 for every one of you who download and install their free shopping tool.
This mission won't cost you a penny. In fact, the average Honey user saves more than $125 a year.
And you'll help Team Rubicon help communities in crisis.
What's the catch?
There is no catch. Honey makes a commission. It comes from the place you shop, not from you.
This is a no-brainer.
It's easy.
It's free.
You help donate to a great veteran-led nonprofit.
And you save a bunch of money. Cha-ching.
So this holiday season,
download and install. Donate and save.
Join us.
Join us. Join us.
Join us as we team up for Team Rubicon.